Hi, this is Xbox Ultimate Podcast. No, I'm just kidding. Hey, what's up, everybody? How's it going? Xbox Ultimate Podcast episode number 114.
Ooh.
How you doing? A chat? You guys rock? Yeah, we're at a special time tonight. Partly because of Vampire Survivors, partly because of just people got a lot of different things going on. So we'll see how this time slot works as well, because it's been increasingly hard for everybody to be here. We're still missing Psycho tonight and stuff. Fuzzy was out having fun with the family today as well. Having a blast, quite literally. But yeah, we're excited to be here. We got a lot to talk about because the EA may have just the EU may have just fucked themselves over with any potentially. We'll
EA's
see.
been doing that for years.
Yeah, EA has been doing that for years. Maybe we'll talk about EA a little bit later too. But we got lots to discuss tonight. Some interesting things happening today in the Twitter worlds. This one was not an imposter though. It was a real person, I think. And we double checked like 5 times. So, but yeah. Thanks for tuning into the show. Spider-Man, what's up? Timmy, what's up? Chris Jones, Talos Ray, Shane, Masshole, RSJ fan. How you doing? Hey, there's my lovely wife, Caitlin. Hey, baby. She is fighting allergies like crazy right now. Oh, I mean, it is like big time, like ordeal. But she's hanging in there. Shout out to Trinity and sorry and condolences for your loss, Trinity. And I hope everybody in your family is doing okay. But yeah, our thoughts are with you for sure. Yeah, Vic the Click, what's up, man? How's it going? Tony Garasso, how are you as well, man? This is gonna be a fun show. We have a family member here making an appearance, part of the Fun Spec fam, the one and only Still Rain, who needs no introduction other than to say he's sliding through as usual. One of the best in the business of podcasting, as well as just a great friend and community member out there in the gaming community. Shout out to Steele. What's up, man? Thanks for hopping in with us.
Hey, man. Well, what a heartfelt intro, especially coming off of just seeing Black Panther Wakanda, or Black Panther 2.
I'm jealous.
I'm just having a huge heartfelt day.
Yeah.
It's really good, man. It's really good. But
put some clothes on and get on camera.
Currently I can't do that. There's some other things I'm working through currently, trying to figure out why that's an issue.
You're working through, all right. Pause. All right, let's go.
But nonetheless, yes, thank you, Matt, for just shooting that invite out. I had some time tonight, so I wanted to get on here and just chop it up with the guys, man. It's a Friday night. I figured, what better time to talk with the brothers I don't get to talk with much throughout the week, and I know I always have an awesome time chopping it up with you guys. Talking about anything going on within the industry. So here we go. That RTS approach, baby. Let's go.
Yeah, maybe we'll talk about some RTSs today too. We did last night. Jasper is here. Hi, Jasper. The realist one. You got to play this game. I know you haven't, but we're gonna probably review this on Monday. So I'm gonna get you addicted to Vampire Survivors.
Please don't. I was literally just finishing up a Marvel Snap match there. I lost, so that's what we were doing during Still's intro there. But other than that, I've been playing Modern Warfare. I found a spreadsheet for my gold camos, and I'm 30% of the way done with
a spreadsheet.
Yeah.
Oh my God, Jasper! It's literally not that serious.
You using a spreadsheet for Marvel Snap or for Call of Duty?
For Call of Duty.
Call of Duty.
Okay.
Get the mastery camo. I got a spreadsheet. You check off all the camos, and it tells you percentage. I'm 30% of the way to the mastery camo.
Wow.
I feel it. I feel you though. I feel you.
Okay. I gotta say, 2 of the people here that are responsible for my low KD are on the show tonight.
I don't know if that's. I don't know about that.
I don't think that's the case.
I just try to help the team out. I just be playing a game.
Y'all get me in these lobbies, and it's like I don't know what to do with myself. Now I did actually outkill Jasper one day the other day, so I was pretty happy about that. That was like an achievement unlocked for me.
He was playing Snap for that entire match.
He probably was. I will say that though on COD, part of the issue though is like using these shitty guns that you don't want to have to use to try and rank them up. That's like really affecting some things. Whenever I switch a new gun, it's like, oh, okay.
That's crazy. I have the complete opposite feeling because every gun that I've touched so far, and again, this is the first time in Call of Duty history where it's literally I've tried almost every gun. I've had a good feeling with almost every gun. There is some adjustment there, but it's like, for me at least, the feeling that there is that separation. Hopefully there's not going to be, especially with the tuning and everything, hopefully that opens up the meta a little bit more in this Call of Duty. Again, people are going to find what works and it's not going to matter. But hopefully it opens it up at least a little bit more.
You're taking away my excuses, Steel. I appreciate that, man.
I was just giving my personal thoughts.
Shout out to the always fuzzy when I said I was having a blast today. How you been, man?
Been doing great. Went out with the boys and the wife for a few rounds at the shooting range. You know, playing this Call of Duty as of recent and everything. They wanted to fire some real weapons. It was like a birthday gift, and this was like the second half of it. Going to the range, and they got to fire the AK-47, an M16, P90, a Vector, and even a Gatling gun. So we definitely had some fun. Man, it's one of those things where now I want to see about doing a kitted out M4 here, but that'll be for some other time, or maybe I'll just do something like that in the game and just live it out there. But man, it's great to be here with you guys. So much gaming news to digest today. So let's get to it.
Heck yeah, man. And then because we're an hour late on a start, Pong Soul's here for the start of the show. Shout out to the one and only encyclopedia of gaming dating back to the very first game ever created, Pong Soul. What's up, man? I haven't used that intro in a little while, I don't think.
You haven't. It doesn't matter. First of all, Steel, great to have you here, brother. Everybody, you get a double dose of Living Split Screen because most of this chat is going to be joining us tomorrow morning as well. But great to have you here, brother. Great to see all of you. This has been a shit-ass day.
Is it only because you didn't get Starfield today?
I should be... Listen here.
Day. You should be celebrating.
And again, shout out to all the veterans. Yes. Thank you all for your service. Thank you very much. Happy Veterans Day, and again, never forget those that aren't with us anymore as well. Yeah. On a serious note, but this has been a fucking this has been a fucking shitty ass day. Okay, all right, and it started this morning in our DMs with a little twat named 3-Bit. I had to show up and start early this morning, asking me if there was something about this date that I should know about. And it just continued. Every time I opened Twitter, there was somebody else saying, we should be going to the stars today. It's 11/11/22. So this is a fucking shitty ass day. I should have been sitting here right now talking about how I've been up for almost 24 hours. How God Howard has delivered us another incredible generational type game. Once again, rewriting how Western RPG sandbox games can be done. And how I feel like after 24 hours, I've barely scratched the surface of what this universe holds. That's what I should be talking about. We should be debating whether or not it should be up for Game of the Year if it can take out God of War and Elden Ring. But we're not doing any of that.
I should be starting my second playthrough.
Oh my God, Jack. I don't think that would be
You probably mainline it. You probably mainline it. Listen,
I got you.
This sucks. It's 11/11/22. And my most anticipated game is not out. Everybody in this generation has already gotten some of their most anticipated games. Not me, not this guy. The last Todd Howard A-Team game we've gotten, Skyrim, just celebrated its 10th anniversary last year, for God's sakes. That's how long it's been. And now I got to wait longer. And I don't even have a fucking date. I don't even know when it's coming. This should have been day one of my first of 5 days off.
People are saying it's going to be put to the fall now.
We already talked about that. I'm not hearing that bullshit right now.
Who's Pete?
Not hearing
it's
that
February.
Bullshit. I told you. This gets pushed again. I'm taking time off podcasting because I will have nothing nice to say. So no, this day sucked. Okay, 11/11/22 can go fly a fucking kite for all I care. Get down to the show. Fuck.
Well,
I think that was a pretty great intro. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah. That was pretty fantastic.
Probably the best one I've heard yet.
Let's just actually flip the script and have an entire show talking about Starfield.
Starfield? All right, bet.
All right. What is the thing you miss most about not being able to play Starfield today, Pong?
Everything. Every fucking thing. The character creation for an hour and a half, getting my character right. Trying to
Just to
decide
put on a
what
helmet.
traits I was going to
Yeah,
have.
just to put on a helmet. That's
No,
me too.
I don't care. I don't care. And then picking out what traits I want out of that huge list of traits. And then just getting out into the world and getting through the first mission so I can get to the open world where I don't have to follow the missions anymore. I can go get lost on 1,000 different fucking planets if I want to. Or maybe fly my spaceship into the sun just to see what fucking happens. But I don't get to do any of that.
You might die. You might die.
I don't care. I don't care. I can't do that now. 11/11/22 sucks ass.
I mean, what people tell me, Pong, they said you could probably just go play No Man's Sky and it'd be just fine. Get your fix in.
Yeah,
I've
been told it's the same game.
I was day one on No Man's Sky. I like No Man's Sky, and it's changed a lot. They've done a lot.
Yeah,
but it's not a Todd Howard.
Yeah,
and it is the same game because you can scan plants.
Yeah, I know. Same tools. Imagine that.
And rocks,
sci-fi,
minerals.
Yeah, I know.
So that's
minerals.
Why.
Yeah, same.
Yeah,
same exact same thing. Let's get to the fucking first topic, would you?
Okay. The first topic is, why is Pong so salty? No, we know the answer to that. For real though, everybody, it does suck that we wouldn't, get to play Starfield today. I did see a lot of jokes and stuff about it, which was pretty funny. 3-Bit, shout out to him for ruining Pong's day today. That was pretty awesome.
He's in the DM like once a month.
And he chose violence to fucking this morning.
I think he set I think he set a calendar or like an alarm on his phone just to
he
remind
probably
himself
did.
to mess with
he
Pong
probably
today.
did.
Yeah,
I'm not gonna. I can't blame. I've messed with 3-Bit enough.
Yeah,
so I deserve it every once.
Don't
in a while.
worry, he'll make a video about it at some point.
I just will say no. We still don't have the Mav revenge video, for God's sakes. Okay, that we've been waiting on for 2 years now. No, but I was surprised it was 3-Bit out of everybody. That did shock me. I was like, Jesus.
After
really?
that, I was gonna mess around with it a little bit, but like I'm still a little like I want to play it too. So like I would be like fucking with myself. But anyway, wow. Yeah, we do have some stuff to talk about. I want to talk about Ricardo. Ricardo, what's his, let me find his name again. There was
Ricardo Montalban.
Montalban. Is that the name?
The plane boss.
Yeah, so Ricardo Cardoso from the EU. The title that he holds is EU Growth Deputy Head of Unit Interinstitutional and Outreach.
Sounds like he asked for a promotion and they just came up with some weird words to
Yeah. Deputy Head of Unit Interinstitutional. Even just interinstitutional and outreach is like interinstitutional. Deputy Head of Unit Interinstitutional and Outreach. He has something to do with the EU regulator, European Commission, that whole thing, right? So he actually, he quote tweeted the EU Commission tweet about them saying that they are going to do this phase 2 thing or whatever. What he did was, I don't know, this was very interesting. Now we've all kind of talked about bias with some of these regulators and the words they're using and talking about taking PlayStation's side and quoting PlayStation up pretty much on their arguments for their excuses to go into phase 2. But he said the commission is working to ensure that you will still be able to play Call of Duty on other consoles, including my PlayStation. I found that extremely interesting. It jumped off the page to me. I saw that. I had to respond to that after I confirmed this was not a parody account. I had to go and look 5 times because I was absolutely sure this was fake at first. But turns out, no, it was not. After 5 checks, this is not one of the imposters on Twitter right now. This is actually somebody that works for the EU. Saying that you will still be able to play Call of Duty on other consoles. They're working on that, including a My PlayStation. Now, first off, Microsoft's already said that numerous times and in the public and in interviews on big time media to the world have been stating that. So I don't know what they're trying to ensure. However, putting the words including my PlayStation on there kind of comes with a little bit of bias as well. And I would say so, because it's putting self-interest and also interest of specific gamers in mind over competition, which is actually what their job is. So this is maybe not a very good idea for them to go about this with open dialogue, but I am actually glad they did because it actually brought to light things. I want to know, Steel, like, am I just reading into this too much, or like it seems like a lot of people, even people like Ryan McCaffrey, have chimed in on this. Jez Corden has chimed in on it. Hogue Law has chimed in on it.
Right.
And numerous people are saying this is not a good look for the EU regulators. What are your thoughts on this thing?
I mean, again, it's coming from a reputable source. From what we can at least tell, I mean, the guy has a verified check mark. I know that's a big thing right now. Who's verified and who's not? And he doesn't seem to be very active on Twitter either. And here's things like this, from somebody that's sitting on that board, maybe has some influence, maybe he doesn't. Who knows? He's the deputy head of unit institutional and outreach views. I don't know necessarily. Maybe I'm just an idiot and I don't know what that is. It doesn't sound necessarily important to the deal at all. And again, it definitely doesn't help the people who are overseeing it. Doesn't help their case looking further into it, right? You're coming across more biased, kind of what we've been hitting on, to where everything continuously always goes back to, oh, well, what about Sony? Oh, well, we need to make sure that Call of Duty is going to be good to go. Although we've got nothing but we've had nothing but information, Phil coming out and Satya coming out and everybody from Microsoft being behind the fact that Call of Duty is going to get treated like Minecraft is. And just to see I don't necessarily want to call it idiocy from like government people that are in government, but humans are humans, man. They're always going to speak their prejudices on things that they like. And obviously, this guy loves PlayStation. So he wants to make sure that Microsoft isn't going to do anything negative to impact his PlayStation experience. But unfortunately, and this is an interesting point that Boom brought up earlier in the week, that I've just been kind of racking my mind about, because the conversation about monopolies and things have always been kind of lingering over the conversation too, because for whatever reason, that's what people are really worried about, that Microsoft is going to come in, they're going to monopolize the entire gaming industry by suddenly putting all their games in a subscription service, doing something that's not proven to work, and spending more money than they've ever spent. I don't necessarily get why this situation has become as big as it has, especially with Sony being, if we really want to look at the definition of monopoly, what is it, like if it's over 70%, or is it 80%? I can't exactly recall. But if you have either 70 or 80% of the market share in any given area, that's technically a monopoly. And Sony has been if you want to look at it that way, Sony has been a dominating force in the industry since they've existed. So it's really weird that, hey, we need more information from Microsoft and everything that they're doing, but we don't need more information from how Sony does business, or maybe it's just because they haven't spent enough money. And at the end of the day, that's what it's kind of coming down to me. And but it also just continuously makes me look at Sony sideways, because again, if Call of Duty is the only thing that's coming up in conversation, and that is the main bane of everybody's existence, you have so many more troubles than worrying about one game and whether that's going to be relevant for the next 10 years. Because Call of Duty could honestly, if they put out another bad game 2 years from now, Call of Duty could die and then Battlefield could take over. Will that happen? Probably not. Could PlayStation put out a good game between then? Factions could be the next big thing. Will it be? Probably not compared to Call of Duty. But I don't know, man. It's really weird to see people's biases come out. But again, people are human. They're going to express it. And just because you're a part of a government body doesn't mean that you're excluded from that conversation, I guess.
Yeah. I want to go through and read a couple people's responses. Something just jumped out at me that I didn't see earlier. So like I said, a lot of people have been commenting on this. I made a comment on it. This guy's getting ratioed like crazy right now.
Yeah.
And it's not even like there's some trolls on there and idiots, but
right.
But mostly people making really good points. And I made a tweet on there talking about PlayStation using dominant market position to get exclusives on their brand, using their leverage in that way. Ryan McCaffrey, actually, like I said, made a tweet, and usually he's kind of like stand backish, you know what I mean, from stuff like this. He gets accused of being a PlayStation fanboy in himself, even though he has an Xbox podcast. But he said, "Respectfully, sir, I'm not sure it gets any clearer than the head of Xbox's public statement on this matter from less than 2 weeks ago. It'll still be on your PlayStation. Don't worry." The interesting thing is here, what I just noticed, and this was very, very interesting. Tom Warren from The Verge, just in response to Ryan, said, "It gets much clearer, but that's for next week." So I'm wondering if next week there's some kind of either public statement or something in writing, there's something they're saying to make it 100% clear that that's going to happen, since that seems like what everybody's argument is Call of Duty, which we've talked about how asinine that is to begin with. One franchise being the point of contention with this deal going through. Pong, what was your thoughts when you saw this? I don't know if you've been busy at work or whatever. But,
I saw it when I popped on. This is right up there. I mean, you think you've seen it all.
Yeah.
Through this whole again, it's so funny how many times we talked about this, the secret industry and how we never get stuff like what we've gotten out of this deal. Like we've gotten a gold mine from this deal as far as information goes and insight into how these companies operate and what they think. It's been crazy. And then you think you've seen it all. And you thought the CMA emoji tweets with the cheap ass PowerPoint presentation freaking slides. You thought that was the tip. You thought that was the peak of what we were going to see. And then you got some dude coming out of the EU Commission, like you said, Mav. We had to double check to even make sure it was legit. And
I thought it was parody at first, honestly.
So did I. So I thought it was a fanboy. I totally thought it was a PlayStation guy or something.
He's a fanboy, but
I looked through his old tweets, like Steel said, he doesn't do a whole lot. But I looked through the tweets, and they were all boring ass EU Commission shit. I was like, okay, this is like real. The fact that this guy, again, these it's different across the world. We've seen all different regulatory bodies now, so we kind of get the idea. FTC was loud at the beginning. We had our own politicians doing their grandstanding early, but then it all went
argument and stuff.
Right, and then it all went quiet though, right?
Yeah.
And now it's been dead silent. Nothing, zero, zip, nada. We saw Brazil. We didn't even know Brazil was done. Like all of a sudden they're done. They're releasing information. We're getting the docs to the public, all that kind of stuff. That was it. And then all of a sudden the CMA jumps in with their corniness. And now the EU. So it's like all these different places actively, but it's like this guy has no fear. If this was, and again, we don't know the actual rules of how it works. You would think that Microsoft's $1 million attorneys have screenshotted this, printed it, are getting it put into like gold-plated plaques somewhere, and are going to drop them on the EU's desk and be like, "Are you serious right now?" Because how can you try to claim that you're part of a body that is supposed to be neutral? And again, that's all an illusion. We know that. It's all an illusion when it comes, we're a neutral body. Okay. Yeah, bullshit you are. Okay. You're not. You all have hands in your pockets. You all are just waiting for the biggest checks to come through. We know how this stuff works at the end of the day. But at the same time, do you really want to give up that air of illusion to the public? Like this guy just feels like no fear. Like, hey, I just go admit that, I want Call of Duty on my PlayStation. What? Wait, you just gave it all up. And so I'm sure, again, I don't know what the rules are. I don't know if there is an argument to be made if they have to wait until a decision is, formally made before they can go ahead and say, yeah, but we got this. This is a problem. Or if they can bring this up now, if this guy can get recused or, taken off of this commission while they're reviewing this. That's the interesting part here. But the fact that he just did it in public, like it was no big deal. This is the ultimate grandstanding right here, right, Steele? This is the ultimate version of saying, hey, fans, see us? We don't get a lot of attention, but here I am, and I'm one of you. I'm a PlayStation guy, and I got your back. We're going to watch this, right? This is like the ultimate grandstanding, to be one of the regular people. And it's like I've said from the beginning that the CMA, the EU, all they're interested in is not, I think this deal goes through. All they're interested in is what they can wave around in victory afterwards. Like, oh, we took down the bad Microsoft. Guess what? Yeah, the deal went through, but we got them to concede. Call of Duty's still going to be on your PlayStation. Don't you worry. Like, they just want something to wave around saying, we did all of our due diligence. We did all the work. No, we had to let the deal go through, but we got this. We got this. It's a victory because this is big bad Microsoft, right? That's what I've always felt like, and that's what this guy is doing. Like, this is weird because, as everybody's already pointed out, again, I don't know what kind of concession you're going to get because I don't know if you have the right, even as a regulatory body, to tell Microsoft they have to guarantee a lifetime of Call of Duty to Sony. Like, that would affect business contracts. That would, like, how would you ever negotiate that? Like, that's not like something that's the EU that negotiated a contract first. So I don't know how that's all going to work out. But the fact is that Microsoft is already saying Call of Duty is going to be everywhere. So I don't know how much of a victory parade this is, unless they're just going to act like, oh, behind the scenes, they were really fighting us on this. But we got them. We got them. Look at us. We got them. I don't know. I just don't understand this. I thought this was weird. Like I said, I thought I had seen it all. And here we are talking about this. And again, unprofessional, I guess, is the best way I can put it right now. It's unprofessional.
Yeah, it's also like, and it's kind of like... potentially sway public view, being in the public mind like this. Like, that's not their, I don't know. I don't know what the rules are, but it's not their job. Their job is to look at these deals. And
that's what makes me feel like he can't have any position of relevance within that actual board. There's no way, because you can't, like, it's one thing to say, hey, this is my, like, okay, let's say somebody worked for Apple, for an example, and they're like, hey, I really love my Samsung phone, and kind of left it at that. And it'd be kind of different if they came out, hey, I love my Samsung phone and it's so much better than I want to make sure that whatever the case may be. Like, I don't see how he would have any influence on it.
You'd hope not.
Being able to make those types of statements, especially with somebody who's higher than them, who recently was in her interview. I forgot where she was at. But on she was speaking podcast, and she was being very dodgy about the entire conversation. So it's like,
she was like, couldn't really comment on anything.
Yeah, she's like, I can't talk about this. Right.
She was dancing around it, as you should, as a person who is in a position of power. This just comes across as either one, you're just you're extremely irresponsible on social media, don't think it's going to be seen, which is that's ignorant, or you just don't care, like you guys were speaking to.
You bring up a good point, though, Steele. A good analogy, I should say, too. It's like if the judge during the Epic versus Apple case was up on the stand and looked over at the Apple lawyers and said, by the way, I'm an Android user. I don't like Apple.
Yeah,
can you
exactly.
That's
exactly. It should be a conflict of interest at that point.
Right. That's what I'm saying. It would be the judge.
That's exactly what it is.
The judge would be recused. He would be pulling off the case. Like, if that bias ever came out, and like I said, I know this is different. This isn't a court, it's a regulatory body.
It works.
It's kind of
the same concept. Yeah.
You'd think you'd like these people to all be neutral at the end of the day, or at least act like they're neutral in public.
Yeah. Very interesting. So, Fuzzy, were you taken aback by this?
You kind of knew something was going on between the CMA and the EU. I mean, yes, there's reasoning for, giving it a second look and stuff like that, but this, it speaks to the concerns that all consumers should have when their public officials are openly doing or saying things that kind of conflict with what they're supposed to be doing. Like it's almost like insider trading without it actually being insider trading. But right now in the background, I'm making the guy a new hat, so I'll be posting a picture here shortly. But yeah, I don't know. I would look at it as, if you're this regulatory person, whether your preference is PlayStation or not, your end result is not supposed to be your concerns. It's your constituents' concerns, the consumers of your region. So whether they have a PlayStation or not, like a lot of people are clapping back and saying, well, where were you when Street Fighter V was made exclusive, or with was it Final Fantasy VII when it was only supposed to be 1 year exclusive, and 2 years later here we are. So it's I know that they only mainly focus on things like mergers and acquisitions and stuff like that, but you would think that same energy, as they say, would be put towards PlayStation, his apparently preferred brand, when they do contradictory things, or there's threats to, not necessarily threats, but like hindrances to other consumer bases and things. So we'll see how the hypocrisy continues with his further tweets, or maybe he does recuse himself, or whatever the case may be. But I used to think it was just mainly posturing per se type of deal. So that way, like you said, they can wave something in the air. Hey, we went to bat for the consumer. Hey, you guys, see what we did, type of thing. But it's obvious that this guy has some consumer bias as well within some of the decision making he may be involved in. So we'll see how it plays out. But hopefully, like you said, there'll be a photocopy or printed placard that they can hand out to the the regulatory members and be like, so this is what your consumers want, or is this what you guys want, type of thing. So we'll see how Microsoft's lawyers handle it.
I seem to recall Jim Ryan taking a trip down there to, was it like Brussels or Belgium, to meet with all of them over the summer. So maybe Jim Ryan just came stacked with some PlayStation 5s and bribed them. Was like, hey, I want to make your kids Christmas this year. Here's a free PS5.
I would not be surprised, but wouldn't that be considered a bribe at that point? And shouldn't that be? Well, things like that happen all around. So, it's sad to see, but man, I'm hoping, at the end of the day, whatever the concessions are, hopefully it doesn't exceed the 3 years, because hey, Sony had the chance to go for 3 years at least, and I would like to see it be less, since they decided to say that was what was it, unacceptable or insufficient or something. But was that the word they used?
Insufficient. Yeah,
insufficient.
That's what Jim said. Yeah, I did find more information about Ricardo Cardoso. Ricardo has over 15 years experience in the European Commission in the area of competition enforcement. He is currently deputy head of unit responsible for antitrust enforcement in the energy and environment sectors in DG Comp. Prior to this, he worked for 5 years as a commission spokesperson for competition, presenting and defending DG Comp's work to the media. He holds an economics degree from the Ellis and an MA in European Studies from King's College London. So this is a 15-year veteran of the European Commission making this tweet. Seems very biased. Again, Jasper, is this like something that you think Microsoft can use as far as, I mean, at this point, they're probably just going to just do whatever they got to do about COD probably at the end of the day. Yeah. But is this kind of like a blatant slap in the face or something?
I'm sure they could use it, but again, I don't really know how all the rules and laws and stuff work there. So maybe they can just be openly as biased as they want. I just don't know how the rules and the laws work there. So it's maybe it's fine. Maybe it's just a problem here for America where we see it's you're supposed to be biased, or maybe it's just our morals are different than theirs or something. I don't know, but it's just kind of shitty. I don't know.
Yeah. Well, Jez had a lot to say about this too, on there. And and a lot of people actually from there. So it seems like I don't know. It seems like this is like something that's taking people a little bit by off guard. Like when I saw it, I couldn't believe it. Honestly, like I'm not used to seeing like now. I don't follow these regulators usually on things, but like here's my opinion on this. It seems to me, like I've said from the get-go, that some of these regulators and the regulatory bodies are using such a big public deal that they know has a lot of public attention to it from like regular consumers, as opposed to like energy deals or like things in like specific trades, like, or say that there's something involving iron, right? Like I'm not staying tuned to that, you know what I mean? But like we a lot of people understand gaming and have like interest in like their PlayStations or Xbox, and this is like a public thing. Call of Duty's affected. It's like kind of like the Disney deal or something, like Star Wars or whatever.
Did he
like,
parenthesize my PlayStation in his tweet or whatever?
Yes.
So I'm wondering if like they requested a bunch of like fan like emails and stuff to be like, hey, like what's your response to this or whatever, like trying to get feedback. So I'm wondering if that was like a key phrase that they kept seeing in all the comments was PlayStation.
Maybe that was the CMA, wasn't it?
Oh, okay.
Yeah. That was the CMA.
Yeah.
This is
but he put it in parentheses, including my PlayStation.
Including my PlayStation. Right.
So I think this is people using this as a marketing tool for themselves and for their regulatory bodies. Right? They're using this as like, look at me.
That's what I was saying. They don't get this kind of attention ever.
No. Yeah, they're propping themselves up. And that's why, again, you know, this was always going to go to phase 2. So everybody making a big deal that these things are going to phase 2. It was always going to, because it's a $70 billion acquisition by Microsoft.
Yeah.
Right?
When is the next time they're going to get this kind of publicity? That's the big question. When's the next time? Never. Because what literally Microsoft can buy whatever they want from this point. $70 billion sets the precipice of what to expect now. So if I go spend $2 billion, you're not really going to shake at me for that. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I guess that might be the other thing that's at play here too, where they want to maybe set, like y'all spoke to earlier too, just setting that expectation for the future.
Yeah, it's like, because they're not going to get this attention off, like, if Whole Foods goes and buys some farm and they have to look over. It's like, no one gets this shit. It's like,
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
We have purpose. We have purpose here, folks.
Yeah, the only other way is if Apple bought PlayStation or something like that.
Right. Again, because it'd have to be entertainment-wise, where they get to flex their muscle and say, we do exist. We are here. Look at us. We're going to do something great for all of you.
Yeah, that's the way it comes across. For sure.
Yeah, we're gonna protect you, PlayStation gamers. It's like it's like because
nobody else plays anything else, man.
Well, no, nobody else can be number one. That's my thing about the whole situation, right? In business, you are telling me that the only business that could be number one is Sony.
Yeah,
that makes no sense. And that's the whole thing to me about this deal that is just like crazy about it, and the way that people speak on it. It's like nobody else can be as high at that level. Maybe Nintendo, but again, that's not even the conversation. They're not in that conversation.
Yeah. Shout out to Polybaba in the chat, because I saw his comment as well
Apple
that
Station.
I thought was pretty good on his comment to Ricky Ricardo. He said, PS leverages its market share position so that titles that they don't own make exclusive content, prevent games from leasing into rival subscription services, and force feature performance parity if they want to be on the PlayStation platform. You know that already, though, I'm sure.
Yeah.
So that's they don't know that, and that's the funny thing is, and I kind of see a lot of comments like this from many people. Like I said, Jez, Cold Eastwood had said, "Don't worry, PlayStation fans, I'm one of you. I'll protect us." That's the way it kind of comes across, right? This is like so openly biased. It's like, just look at me. I'm a PlayStation owner, and I'm going to make sure that this doesn't happen to me and all the other ones. Right?
Well, man, there's going to be 3 billion gamers that once this deal goes through, they're just going to all subscribe to Game Pass, and that's the fear.
Right.
There's no competition in that space.
But what about Apple Arcade? Right? Nobody cares about that. Nobody even knew how many subscribers it had until just the other day.
Oh yeah, that was crazy. What did they have say? 100 million?
Yeah, they're approaching
that?
100 million
Crazy.
subscribers for Apple.
It's easy, man. It's easy.
Yeah.
And they don't even have to. What they don't even. All of that's really profit too.
Yeah. 30% cut on the top.
That is crazy.
In fact, they make a lot of money off of Candy Crush, which is going to be one of the games that Microsoft's going to own. So the other aspect to this is like, when you look at it, they say, well, Apple doesn't really compete against Microsoft currently in the mobile space. Well, the way gaming's going and the way it's transitioning, that's going to be that's a thing, right? That like
Microsoft is making a mobile app.
Yep.
Yeah.
They're coming.
Psycho's in the green room, by the way, man.
Oh, is he? Hey, let's get him in here.
We don't need him.
Keep
him on the bench.
He sent out a help text, so I wanted to make sure it was seen.
Keep him on the bench in case somebody gets hurt. Then we can bring him
in.
Thanks, Psycho. Sorry, I didn't see you there, bro. I'm glad we were able to get you on the show tonight, man.
Hey.
Yeah. It's good to be here today.
Oh, fuck. We're already going left. Jesus Christ, Psycho. You just showed up. Stop.
What? I'm not doing anything.
He turned on the sultry voice for all the guys here. Whoa.
So Psycho, did you see that? Did you see Ricardo Cardoso?
Yeah.
What did you have to say about that?
I tagged him in your reply.
Oh yeah,
so he wouldn't miss it. So he wouldn't miss the tweet. Like, I mean, come on. What is up with the CMA and the EU? Like, both are just like
they're celebrities now, Psycho.
Yeah,
I guess. I mean, like we got the CMA that almost verbatim reads the Sony's concern that they gave to the Brazilian regulators, and then here we have the freaking EU regulator. Well, I don't know if he's a regulator, but
he works for the commission. Yeah, he works for
the
them. Commission. Yeah,
and he's like, but Call of Duty is gonna be on my PlayStation as long as I have anything to do with it. Like, what's up with that?
Why did he have a Southern Belle voice?
Because, but it's just weird. Like that, personally, if anybody, if Xbox or let's say, if Sony was in their shoes and they did this, Sony would be up in fucking arms. They would fucking be, their lawyers would be talking to them, and that I guarantee that tweet would be deleted or removed per Sony's request. So it's crazy that they're out here not even hiding their
Jim
bias.
Ryan would make like a public video announcement being like, there's clear bias in the EU, we can't compete anymore.
Yeah, like
right.
I don't get it. I don't know if there's like just it's he has some favors, or if Jim Ryan knowing some of these regulatory bodies because he's from
the region,
from Europe, so
take my strong hand.
He could be like, hey, you know what? We kind of Sony PlayStation needs Call of Duty, or we're done with. Like, I mean, that's their whole messaging since Xbox and Microsoft has acquired Activision, is that if Call of Duty goes exclusive, PlayStation's done for. And it's just like now, and here we are. We're seeing someone from the EU is like, hey, you know what? We got your back. Like, this is fucking crazy shit. I don't get it. I don't know. I saw Hoglaw. He tweeted something to him, but
I was just reading it. At first, Hogue just said, "I hope this is one of those fake accounts." Like he goes, but who knows? And then somebody said, asked him directly, "Is there any actual recourse to a statement like this? Like, can Microsoft use this as evidence in an appeal? They take the CMA to court." Obviously, this person didn't understand the difference between the CMA and the EU, but Hogue jumped in, Hogue answered and said, "I suspect it will come up if this dude's real. Does it make the case? No, but it makes the commission look absolutely awful." So he definitely thinks it'll be used.
Now, unless this person did it on purpose to shed light of the behind the doors of what's going on, like, okay, this is what we're doing, I mean, it's hard to say. You can't really sit there and say that there's backdoor dealings going on, because it's, you can't really say that, but I mean, if Call of Duty is the only thing that's really their concern,
it's all they ever talk about, man. Like
let it be fucking multiplayer. Who gives a fuck? Let it go through.
It's gonna be multiplayer. I mean, Microsoft has said it numerous times publicly to big time news publications, live on camera. They can't go back on that. You know what I mean? It's
and the hundreds of games that are going to be coming out of Activision, they're going to be solely exclusive to the platform, is going to be outweigh what Call of Duty, because the last thing we know, we saw all the gamers reaction to World War I games and World War II. Like, they don't want to go back to that era right now. And after Modern Warfare and possibly Advanced Warfare, where are they going to go? So that second Call of Duty game, if they do different, like Vietnam or something.
Next Treyarch game is in the 90s for Desert Storm. Advanced Warfare is kind of rumored, but then it's like maybe it's not, because they're also working on the premium DLC for Modern Warfare. So maybe they kind of like make Modern Warfare 2 a little more advanced or something. I don't know, but that's the current plans right now. What we know is the next Treyarch game is in the 90s.
Nice.
Yeah, that's the Advanced Warfare, correct or not?
No, that's Advanced Warfare will be Sledgehammer.
Yeah.
Oh god.
Advanced Warfare is like in the future. Like
yeah. Oh, that's okay, whatever. But again, we don't know, 2-3 Call of Duties from now that it's even going to be where it is right now. Like, this Modern Warfare 2 is the most highest grossed game right now for Call of Duty, I believe, in the first 10 days. I believe it's
made $1 billion.
So it could be one of those things that, the next 2 games, it's going to be all right. And then who knows by the third, if it's even going to be relevant anymore.
Also, Microsoft gave them a 4-year extension or whatever on their previous contract or whatever, didn't they? So,
well, that was what I believe they said that they are willing to do. Is extend it.
Okay.
Yeah. They have not wrote it. They can't write anything down because they don't technically own them. So they're just going on. When this does go through, this is what our promise is: an extension of 4 years. That's until 2027. You guys get to have Call of Duty, because if we have it till, let's say they want it on there forever, which is crazy. Microsoft spent $70 billion and Sony's like, but we want it for free. And it's just like, yeah, the CMA and the EU is like, you know what? That seems logical, and let's go ahead and do that. Microsoft foot the bill, Sony reaps the benefits. So I guarantee
it would be damaging to Call of Duty to make it an exclusive. Period.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So it's like, it doesn't make any sense from Microsoft's perspective to make it exclusive.
Right now, yes. Right now, where it's how it is, it would be. But
that's kind of been the case with all multiplayer games, though. Like, that's always been their fault. Like, limiting them to one specific platform always damages it for the worst in the long term. Like, I understand that Last of Us is going to be, for an example, PlayStation's thing. But again, they are going to put it on PC so they can reach a wider market. They obviously have to. They see that. They have said that. But it'd be hard to argue that it being on Xbox wouldn't also be a boon for them. They would see more money. Again, they're going to get the majority cut on that. It's just like MLB The Show, right? So, I mean, Sony could be the main ones making it, and they could be getting the biggest cut from it, but it's still on Game Pass. Who is that hurting? Nobody. It's only benefiting you as the game. I don't know.
I'm just curious what Tom Warren's comment was.
Yeah,
it's really
next week, because I've been racking my brain.
What was his comment?
Well, Mav brought it up, and I hadn't seen it. He had tweeted out. Go ahead, Mav.
Next week,
there's
no
more than me.
I'll bring it back up here real quick.
Yeah, bring it back up.
Because where this came from was Ryan McCaffrey had responded.
I had seen McCaffrey's tweet. Yeah.
So Ryan, and again, Ryan's usually quiet on these kind of things, right? He doesn't usually like speak for the Xbox gamer to the public, on their behalf of these things. But like,
he's an Xbox guy.
He said, respectfully, sir, I'm not sure it gets any clearer than the head of Xbox's public statement on this matter from less than 2 weeks ago. It'll still be on your PlayStation. Don't worry. Right? And then Tom Warren replied to that, which is very interesting to me. And Tom said, oh, it gets much clearer. But that's for next week. So something's going down next week, potentially. Tom is in the know on some of these kind of things. I don't know if there's like a statement that Microsoft had provided to media or something, or something of the sort. Or they know something's going down to some kind of deal behind the scenes, potentially, or some kind of workings. And maybe next week there's going to be some news regarding this, potentially. I don't know. But
I mean, because they're not gonna come out and announce any deals with Sony. I mean, they're not going to do any of that now. They're gonna let all this process play out to give concessions where they got to do. They're not gonna do that. I mean, is maybe he hinting that Satya is going to come out somewhere? Does he have something going on next week where he's going to make it absolutely clear? Because the tweet was from Ryan McCaffrey, the head of, can't get much more clear than the head of Xbox saying it, and then Tom Warren says, well, it can become much more clear.
They could do something like they could do something like write to the CMA, to the EU, like a statement, and they could also make that statement public, since the CMA and EU are making everything else public right now with this kind of stuff.
Exactly. Well, we saw them make that website where they're like the 3 tiers thing. Do you think they make like another website that's like, if we do acquire this is our plans for this company?
So I think it would be a letter, like, because this is like the way that I was listening to that Italian podcast, right? And the way that the regulator spokesperson on that show had broken down is that basically, like, they don't the CMA and the EU, or she was a spokesperson for the EU, so the EU doesn't make specific demands. They propose a problem, and then it's up to the companies to actually provide a solution to that problem, and then they will either say yes or no to that solution, right? So in this case, maybe Microsoft is going to supply a potential solution and make it public also on their website with a statement that they're also going to provide to the EU and the CMA as far as this is our solution. Maybe it's something along the lines of, as long as there's a PlayStation and as long as we are making Call of Duty games, Call of Duty will continue to release on PlayStation as well as Xbox. Like something as simple as that. I mean,
I can see that.
It doesn't have to go.
The only way you're going to make it clear enough as people is if you tell, like, if you show like image of Call of Duty and like this will be on PlayStation till 2027 or whatever. It's like that's the only way that's going to be.
No, I think the best way to do it was you get Jim Ryan and you get Phil Spencer, you get them together in one room. Phil Spencer has a copy of Call of Duty in his hand, and he says, Jim Ryan,
this is how we share
I
games.
pledge to
this
you.
is how you share games. Yes.
This is how we share games. Exactly. There you go. That would tear the world apart.
Yes,
that would tear the world apart.
Now, I do remember Phil Spencer and a lawyer, I forget the female lawyer, they were supposed to go to the EU.
He's been over there
this week.
No,
so
it was last week.
Was the last week? Okay.
It was last week or the week before.
I think it was the week before, because he's been doing a lot of traveling.
Yeah, he's been all over, but he was over there for a while.
Yeah,
because I remember a statement coming out that said that this lawyer and Phil Spencer are going to go over there and talk and all that. So
it's obvious.
From what Mav was just saying, that this could possibly be that they had concerns. EU is like, all right, Call of Duty is what our concern is. We want, this is how would you guys remedy this? And Phil Spencer's like, well, we already fucking said that we're going to put this on PlayStation for 4 years. Well, and if they go about it in a way like Jasper was saying, possibly maybe doing a website or doing a letter and saying once this acquisition goes through, this is our promise to PlayStation and the PlayStation community that Call of Duty will continue being on the PS5, and and then we will renegotiate our contracts after the 2027, and we'll go from there. And I guarantee that's where they really nip the whole cross-play tax and all this other.
So, what I have a theory, Psycho. I don't mean to interrupt you, but like, okay, so Microsoft has been playing a game this whole way through. Like, all the challenges that the regulators have been trying to meet, they went directly to the sources of who the challengers were. Like they went to the union, right? The union to forget the name of the union group that they went directly to them. They made an agreement with them saying, that we're going to allow the unions into Microsoft, pretty much, right? They tackled all these things head on. They even attempted to tackle the Call of Duty thing head on right away by approaching and sending that letter or whatever to Jim Ryan from Phil Spencer saying that we're going to do 3 more years or 4 more years or whatever beyond the existing agreement or something. And the thing that Jim said was inadequate. So what if the more clear thing was them directly going back to Jim and PlayStation and trying to just hash things out, and then a public statement potentially could come from PlayStation at some point, or Jim saying like we're satisfied now, and that would completely kill any arguments from the CMA or the EU and everything.
You could also give PlayStation ammo at that point. PlayStation can be like, this is the Microsoft's what they're promising us. It's shitty or whatever, and then they just go back to the fucking EU and be like,
unless it wasn't, because that like PlayStation's been playing this game with the regulators trying to get them on their side about this issue, right? But Phil's and Microsoft's plan was to keep releasing it on PlayStation all along, and they already did try to hash things out initially day after this deal was announced. Maybe they go back and kind of work things behind the scenes with PlayStation just to say, hey, like, let's just like hash this out between us because this is the only thing holding out the deal. Like, what do we got to do? Because it's Xbox, it's way more than COD. It's like it's King. It's Blizzard is involved with this and all this stuff. And it doesn't make any sense to make COD exclusive. It's bad. One thing is bad for the brand. Number 2, they're going to make lots of
but even
more
if
money.
you cleared up with PlayStation, where PlayStation's like, yeah, we'd like to see that go through, like it's still up to the EU and all them people.
It is, but it would go a long ways.
Yeah.
It would go a long ways.
It's the only argument they're making, especially publicly, right?
Well, the only sticking point, though, in all of that, in any deal, and I think the biggest sticking point for Jim Ryan, why he said it's inadequate on many levels, is that he's going to want guarantees that if it comes to Game Pass, it comes to PlayStation Premium. That's what he's going to want. He's not going to want COD on Game Pass alone. I think that's probably the biggest sticking point. And I don't know if Microsoft and Xbox are willing to give that up. I don't think they're willing to give it to PlayStation Plus.
That's big.
I don't think that would ever be a concession they'd be willing to give up.
No, because Sony did not spend $70 billion to have it on. No. That's the thing.
I mean, they would still have to pay for it. Let's be real. I'm not talking that Jim's expecting it for free, but even the fact of if that's, and I do believe that's one of their biggest demands is that, hey, if this thing comes to Game Pass, it's got to come to our side too. Yeah, we're going to pay for it, but it's got to be offered on our side. That's going to be a big, huge sticking point. That's the only thing I could see out of that.
Could be. Like it's, I mean, the Game Pass is heavily involved with all these discussions too. So
yes,
and that's one thing we talked about before, Pong. With like that could be one of the solutions that the CMA or the EU would request, right?
And I say that Microsoft would not, maybe that they wouldn't be able to give that up, but in the grand scheme,
it wouldn't be the biggest.
In the big picture, right? Is it worth it? Right? Is it worth that battle?
Call of Duty, you're still making all the money on all the microtransactions.
Right, that's what I'm saying. You're going to make all the money. Sony's going to have to pay you for those rights to come over there, right? Is it going to be worth it in the long run because they're looking at the whole ABK, not just Call of Duty, ABK.
Yeah, you still get
what
Diablo,
they're going to get out.
not Starfield. Right. I use it StarCraft potentially.
Yeah.
All these other games potentially still only on Game Pass and on your platforms, right? So
would Satya and Phil just go, We don't
The
want
dormant
to, but
IPs.
if we're going to get this thing through and we get it done next year so we can move forward with everything, let's do it.
Especially if they take studios off of COD and start putting them on other projects.
Right, correct. And again, how much is COD worth when it becomes a games as a service down the road? How how does the dynamic
It's already
change?
been moving that direction anyway.
Right,
you know
exactly,
what I mean?
exactly.
It is a games of service right now. It's just got to pay $70 for it before you buy all the battle passes.
And Warzone, like the biggest part of Call of Duty now is free, so it's like, does it really even matter anyway?
I'm just I'm not trying to say this stuff's going to happen. I'm just trying to weigh into what Tom could be. This
could be
fun speculation about what could be happening behind the scenes, because he's big time at The Verge. Tom Warren is, I mean, he's in the know on things. Fuzzy, do you have a thought about what that could mean about it'll be clearer next week?
I was trying to see as far as any other things he may have hinted to as well, and I think some of it's probably a letter or letter of intent or something like that, that the EU will have that will once again state that they'll try to keep this kind of like along the lines of Minecraft type of thing. I think that's the biggest thing going around, and they'll probably show the stats on how Minecraft is still flourishing on other platforms and whatnot. But it's, I don't know, it has to be either kind of like what you guys hinted to with Satya possibly voicing some more stuff again. If it's about competition, let's have a competition. No, but more focused on the Minecraft statements and stuff like that. And
you want Call of Duty, have Call of Duty.
Right.
Yeah, exactly.
Because we're changing the name when we get it. It's now Duty of Call, so it doesn't fucking matter.
So talk about trying to prop yourself up too. What if that person is already in the know about something that's happening next week as well, and is putting this out there so they can look like a hero at the end of the day, and the EU can look like a hero for next week?
At the end of the day, that's what a lot of this grandstanding is to make it look.
Oh, look what I did! See, last week
we
I
battled
this. You know what I mean? And we won. Yeah, EU.
We put Microsoft in a headlock.
Yes.
We got them.
Yeah. You know what I mean? It's like we did our job. We're the best regulatory body in the world. We deserve respect. I don't know, man. It's great. It's a lot of craziness out there, but I still think the whole thing revolving around one game franchise is just the most ludicrous thing, and the $70 billion acquisition that involves way much more. That's why I was always confident that this was going to get done one way or another. It's just such small potatoes. Like, at the end of the day, it's just public facing. It's all.
Yeah, it's just the money that Sony makes. That's how much money Sony makes, that they are how far they have gone out to try to keep Call of Duty on PlayStation. I mean, it makes them a lot of money. I think it's from it what it was like $250 million that they brought in.
It was 250 million, correct?
Yeah, and that's
Vanguard.
like
Vanguard, which was a low selling game.
Yeah.
and it's like, I think it's Activision they're like 11% of Activision's total revenue or something. PlayStation is.
Yes, that is correct.
Yeah. So this is why they're doing this, but I do believe that Microsoft will, at the end of the day, like the messaging has always been, Call of Duty is going to be on PlayStation, and to Xbox guys, let it be. Who cares? Because at the end of the day, the amount of IPs that Activision and Microsoft are going to have and going to make and put on Xbox exclusively,
like getting StarCraft back.
StarCraft,
talked about that last
Warcraft,
night, baby. Yes.
StarCraft Ghost,
World of Warcraft 2.
Revive that fucking game. I've been waiting.
I mean, that's
the first OG.
Once you get done with Age of Mythology, just put the fucking Age team on that, and then your goal is
Warcraft and StarCraft. For sure.
Imagine because there's 9 teams in Bethesda, so you have like the Warcraft team and the StarCraft team.
I mean, I don't know if I trust Blizzard to make another RTS, but like you can just hand it to the Age. They could talk to, like, one could do Warcraft, one could do StarCraft, and offset, so one comes out one year and then the other comes out the following year. And then how insane, because we have not had a Warcraft since Warcraft 3. I think that was like back in
whenever
What, like 98 or some
2000,
shit?
90, was it 97, 98?
Something like that.
It was something insane.
It's been a long time.
Because World of Warcraft came out, and that was the MMO. It was not the same because it's not an RTS.
Yeah, it was even better.
I like the idea. Warcraft was great.
Steel, we're gonna get you back in
You
RTS.
MMO.
The only reason I say that is because World of Warcraft has become much more prevalent than now RTS
of
ever
course,
would have been.
of course.
Well, yeah, because
right.
it's the love of RPGs of the characters,
Right?
Because
Characters and
because they love those characters from Warcraft,
exactly.
and they were like, I wish we could play them as a character, and then boom, World of Warcraft came and it exploded because that's what people wanted.
Right.
And then Microsoft needs to go buy Sega, so we have Creative Assembly, and then we go license, and then we go to EA, Mav, and we license out Command and Conquer and bring it back again. Can you freaking imagine?
And then you go to Amazon,
home of the RTS,
and you talk to the group that now owns Lord of the Rings, and you bring back Lord of the Rings Battle.
And then you go to LucasArts and you get Star Wars Galactic Battlegrounds.
Yes.
And then you go THQ Nordic and get the Dawn of War RTS series,
and then you do a Call of Duty RTS on top,
and then you buy Sega, so you have now control over Creative Assembly and Relic, and you can get even more RTSs out.
And
Company of Heroes, and you can also
Dawn of War.
Here we go. You can also put them on Halo Wars.
Yes, Dawn of War was amazing.
Going left.
Let's go. Halo Wars back again. We'll just control all the RTSs. Like
Halo Wars,
the rise of the RTS.
That is one.
Phil Spencer's listening right now, and he's writing notes down. Just look now. He's writing all this.
Well, he helped publish Rise of Nations, so he got some RTS in.
Oh, he loves RTS.
Yeah,
that's why he was talking StarCraft and Warcraft.
How about Game Pass Wars? And we'll just fucking put all the franchises that are in Game Pass, all the factions. That'd be amazing. Let's go. Or we could have the Regulator Wars, and we could have the FTC as a faction versus the CMA, versus the EU,
FTC.
And the CMA battles with emojis only, just the units,
When you attack them, they just put up a stop sign, stop, don't hurt us.
Automatic block ability. Yeah, let's go. And
is this the BS segment where we come up with another game? And
then they have little heroes, and the EU's hero is Ricardo. He's going around making bullshit statements, carrying his PlayStation. Be amazing.
And their ultimate power is flying Jim Ryan out to I don't know, do something.
That's great.
Jim Ryan with the briefcase. That's the ultimate. That's the hero. It shows up on the battlefield. Yeah, that'd be great. Oh God! See, $1 billion ideas every time.
Let's go. Let's make it happen. I love RTS.
Okay, Chris, settle down though, Chris Jones. Settle down.
What?
Yeah.
Why he's excited? He likes RTS too.
He likes RTS games.
There's nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. I think we all get excited about it. Besides Steel just wants all those RTSs to be MMO.
No, I want them to stay what they are. Again, there's a reason why I say we take that RTS approach. I love RTSs and I will forever love them. It's just when you talk about time sinks, man, RTS is just take it to a completely different level, especially if it's a good one. It's crazy. So,
well, speaking of time sinks, that's a great segue because we'll move on past ragging on Ricardo here. I think he's had enough. But
was this the first topic?
Yes, that was the first topic. Besides Pong's opening rant, disappointment, you have to go back and watch
we talk about
later,
stuff,
Psycho.
Starfield.
But
oh no.
Speaking of time sinks or time sucks, I guess, because wow, last night I started playing this game on my Steam Deck via the Game Pass app. It's you know what? There's a little bit of latency here. I'm gonna go ahead and pay the $5 for this game and get it on the Steam Deck. And this game is also in Game Pass, and I was playing a little bit before we went live here.
Man, that was one pack of NBA 2K. What are you doing?
I know.
Yeah, you got another Tyson Chandler.
So I started playing this in bed. It was late. It was 11 something, and I was I'm gonna play this for a little while and go to sleep. My battery low indicator went off. I looked down at my Steam Deck, and I realized that, I was okay. I've been playing for a while. Time to put it up. Then I look at the clock. It's 4:15 a.m. Supposed to be up in 3 hours. What the hell did I just do to myself? I was playing Vampire Survivors, and holy shit, is that game addicting? And I'm not kidding. This is not an exaggeration. It has now surpassed Power Wash Simulator as my game of the year. It is absolutely insane, dude. No, Vampire Survivors is absolutely fucking
legit,
so addicting. Oh my god, I'm loving this game, dude. It's so cool,
dude. I was up till 4:05 playing this game last night.
Yeah, we were doing the same thing, bro.
I know. I was waiting for you to get online. I'm sitting like, where the fuck is Matt? He said he's gonna play Vampires Survival, and I see he's not online.
I was playing on my Steam Deck. It's playing on my Steam Deck in bed.
Yeah. Well, because I wanted to see, get your expression. Holy shit, that game, dude, it is insane. I got to level 100 last night.
Oh wow, that's impressive.
And they did the full 30 minutes on the first board, and because when you do that, the Grim Reaper comes and it's instant death because you only have a time limit of 30 minutes on that board. And it is so good because there are different items that you pick up that pair up that you can level up, then become ultimate weapons. And then those weapons do like crazy damage. I'm sitting there like there's so much shit on the screen, and I'm just sitting there freaking just like la 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 la, like ain't no thing, just going through it, just destroying freaking monsters.
And it's hard to get a run like that too, though, because you can like go and do a run and like you have, okay, I made some of the wrong decisions on some of my options early on, and then it's like, okay, I sucked this one, but then you'll get that one run where you get like the garlic and you get the shield and you get the the good damage dealing abilities, and you get to like the evos of those and all these shit, and it's like, what's going on? It's insane. I love garlic the most because you can just early on you can just walk into the enemies and just like keep collecting the experience, right? To level up fast, right? But yeah, man, it's like so good, bro.
Dude, yeah, like the freaking the knives, when you level up the knives to the point to max out, but you need to have the gauntlet to pair with it so you can get the ultimate weapon, and this thing shoots out like a freaking Gatling gun, and it's just nonstop shooting out knives. It is insane. I'm just like, holy shit. Like at first, like the knives suck, like at the low level, but when you progress it to that next level, holy crap. That
what character are you using?
I was using the first three.
Okay, so you really haven't moved on. You haven't found any of the higher ones. Steel, what have you been using?
Yeah, I got 12 total.
Okay,
I kind of have a handful of characters that I'm currently using that I'm trying to slide through with. So I've unlocked the ability to basically unlock alternative outfits.
Okay.
So there's that.
So did not know
one
that.
of my
I didn't
main
know that either. Holy shit.
one of my main chicks, the main characters I was using the lightning chick. She just summons lightning behind her, whatever the case. I thought that was really dope. Because it pairs with other abilities that you get early on really well and kind of dancing around the enemies. There's turbo modes on apparently on every level there's a turbo mode, but you have to unlock it. So I've been really playing with the turbo mode, and that's
no idea.
Completely different. Because it makes as you imagine, it's exactly how it sounds. It makes everything faster, but not only that, it's like once you get up in them levels, it really makes a difference. And then you'll also notice a difference with how some characters aren't meant for that hyper mode because they don't move fast enough. So it kind of helps you. The game doesn't hold your hand at all, but at the same time, it kind of guides you through you just playing the game.
Yeah,
and
no,
says,
you
"Hey,"
learn as you go. It's very good at that. It's very good.
exactly. And that was one of my aha moments, I think, with the game, because again, we talked about it on Living Split Screen last Saturday, and I kind of played, but I was like, oh, I'll try it out maybe and see what it's hitting for. And I downloaded the game. The one thing, like, the game is literally, it's not big at all. Like, it takes up no space. This game needs to literally be on everything. With how versatile it is, and it's really easily accessible. But nonetheless, that aha moment for me is when, like Psychos, on that first grassy level. It was like my second run, and I was using the whip dude.
I
was using the very first guy, and that second run that I got, I don't know if I just happened to get a lot of luck or whatever, but I had a really good build going, and like Psycho, I got to 100, and I was in there for 30 minutes, and that's when I was talking about behind the scenes where the Grim Reaper came and got me.
Yeah.
But the thing about that, though, I thought that's how that mechanic worked all the time. But I played a different board later, and the Grim Reaper popped up. Now I'm like 15 minutes into it, and for whatever reason, I couldn't attack him. I obviously, like, I was doing so good this run too. I was like, oh man, I'm gonna really knock it out. I need to level this character up, as I think it's the character with their big old axe. One of the things is you got to level him up you got to play with him for like 30 minutes or whatever the case, on one of the levels. So I lock whatever else, and everything was going so smooth, and this Grim Reaper popped up out of nowhere, and I was like, oh, here we go. I was like, well, already? And he didn't come to me directly like I was used to. He was like out within the swarm of enemies, and the enemies kind of forced me to go that direction. So I was like, all right, well, I'll kind of try to dance around him, and he magnetized on me and killed me automatically. Now, the thing about that was, though, unlike previously, I did a little bit of damage to him. But obviously it wasn't enough, or I just got too close, and that's his mechanic. If you get too close.
So the Grim Reaper's the way, like, he has the Sith, and he's like highlighted around with like purple outline, right?
There's different ones.
There's different ones. Okay.
Yes, there's different. The one that comes to get you at the end of the game, like when Psycho was talking about, that is automatic. That first level is 30 minutes. No matter what, I've tried it 3 times, and it's no matter what, he comes to get you.
So the second level, I came across the Grim Reaper guy, and I ended up killing him because I had the I had the knives like supered up so much.
So you probably ran into the same one that I ran into, but you didn't get close enough to die. So
right.
Because the other Reaper, you can't kill him. You do no damage to him at all. The other thing too, man, because I was like, man, this game, because this was before I found out that it was like 40 characters in the game, which is another thing that's enticing. For as shallow as this, people try to make the seem like there's literally people talking about on YouTube how this game is ruining game design.
What? This is like advancing game design. What do you mean?
Asmongold made a video about it. There's literally he's just salty that I don't think his game's getting the attention this game is. He was like, "Oh, this game's so simple, and there's no strategy to it." But anyway,
that's bullshit.
There's a shit ton of strategy to this game.
My first aha moment, real quick, Steel, was
no, you good, my fault.
Because I'm early on. No, you're fine, Steel. I'm just bringing it back a little bit for people who haven't played it, because I haven't gotten as far as you guys have, because I didn't play for as long. But my first aha moment was figuring out that the mobs are based upon the time, not based upon your level. And then, so I was like, okay, all right. So now I know I got to level up as fast as possible. Yeah. The faster I can level up within the early time frame, the better off I am as the mobs get deeper and deeper and harder, right? So pause. So I once I had that aha moment, the whole entire game changed for me and how I was playing it, because then I learned to corral them early on and stay close to the mobs, killing them off as quickly as possible and getting as much experience as possible. Yeah. So there is a ton of strategy.
And the only times I've gone away from that is when I know I got to get to a relic or something, and I'm like just trying to get to the relic, and then I'll worry about playing the map the other way later.
And how damn awesome is it to open one of those freaking legendary chests where the whole freaking screen lights up?
So,
oh my god, it's like the best feeling in the world. Yes,
when you get the five.
So the first person variant of this, I guess, is just Call of Duty Zombies.
No. No, I wouldn't compare it to that. This is so much more versatile. I mean, I see what you're going for there, Jasper, because zombies does has that same kind of mechanic to where
I mean,
there is
you
a lot
can
of
get pretty
randomness in
crazy.
it.
Like if
And
you
yeah,
like
it
really
does.
get deep into zombies, like
No.
you get magic weapons and shit. And it's
Yeah,
like-
the ray gun used to be freaking amazing to be, especially when you got the moments where you actually was able to get one. But no, this one is way more simplistic, and it's not. At some point, once you get an understanding of how the game works, you just go for what you feel is going to work best for you. And I don't think there's like one per se strategy like there is like zombies necessarily. So I don't know.
I mean, maybe it's just because I'm more like into Call of Duty Zombies, but like you
Yeah,
go
'cause
for
it's
your
different
you go for
things.
your main weapons, and then you just find your route. You just run circles.
See, in this,
Yeah, well-
you can't run circles around the enemies in this though, because it's some like a. Again, I've seen what you're going for, and there is a little bit of that, especially early on.
Early on, yeah,
where
you
there is
do.
a little
Yeah.
bit of a dance,
Yeah.
but especially I feel like the game is like learning the player too. But anyway,
It does.
the enemies
it
get
does.
more chaotic, as in like you're
Yes.
trying to predetermine where they're going to come from. Like, oh man, if they do this the whole time, I'm good. And then all of a sudden,
The whole screen fills
there's
up.
2 or 3 bosses.
Yeah.
The whole screen fills up. All of a sudden, you feel like
Instantaneously, you don't
it's
have
a-
a chance.
Yeah.
it feels like you're not doing enough damage for some reason. You're like trying to clear up. Like there's some moments where you'll be moving real fast, and then all of a sudden I'm moving slower so my damage can actually be done to the enemies.
The freeze rate comes in clutch.
It does. Yeah.
Ooh, it comes in
Yeah.
clutch.
When you know that you're stronger than a mob that's coming through, and you
Yeah.
know they're gonna instant die when they get close, you
Yeah.
just want to sit there in the middle of them, just let them
Right.
come into you, and then you
That's
start
what I said
walking
to
around.
Paul.
And, yeah.
Whoa, boss.
And go, sorry. Yeah.
Paul.
Yeah.
Yeah. And
Yeah,
you
you
want to
have
get
to-
all that XP as much as possible. It's me.
Yeah, especially when you click one of those, I forget what they call them, but the glowing balls,
orbs?
the magnet. Yeah, the orbs.
The
When you
orbs,
get
yeah.
that, and your
Magnetizer.
whole screen is just experience
Yes.
crystals coming in. Oh my god, it's amazing.
And, they did such a good job coming up with the ideas of like the abilities and like the ultimate things
Yes.
that happen and stuff. It's like it's so satisfying and rewarding to play this, and it goes to show you don't have to have a game be like the most amazing
No.
graphics or like
So
anything.
you're saying
It's
this
like,
game is better than God of War?
I haven't played something exactly like this before. That's the best thing about it.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It
Mhm.
takes things from a bunch of different genres and puts it into one unique, brand new genre. Now, I can guarantee you there's going to be clones of this now, right?
Mhm.
This is going to spawn a
Oh,
new
yeah.
genre based on this game design. And you just say you ruin game design, they created a new genre is what they
Man,
did.
that's
with
bad
this.
for gaming. I want God of War. Look what you got. PlayStation players got God of War Ragnarok, and these Xbox gamers got Vampire Survivors, some 8-bit game.
I'm sorry,
plays
I
This
would
is
honestly
going to
rather
be
play
like
this
one of
game.
those like clicker games where it's like you just click the enemy like over and over, and like you do 1 point of
No,
damage,
you
and he
don't
has like
click
100
the,
health.
you
just,
don't click
I
the
know, I'm
enemy.
just saying, but it's going to be like that where it's like you just see a bunch of these like take off
Catches
like
on,
those.
Yeah, a bunch of
I
them will
see
come
that.
out and they'll change up little things. I'm kind of excited if they do because there's a lot of different ways you could go with this. This is like
Mhm.
a great starting point.
Honestly,
for somebody. Really,
Returnal
Hmm.
should take advantage of this
Mm.
this mechanic. This
Is
would be
there-
a super dope mechanic to have. in a
There's
game
like mini
Returnal.
bosses like every like couple minutes, right?
It's more so level based.
kind
Like
of.
10,
Yeah.
like every 5 to 10
Jasper,
levels.
play the game.
Yeah, just play the game. Just play the
I-
game.
I-
The thing that threw me off though is I swore this was a twin stick shooter. The
It's
fact
not.
that it just
threw me
automatically
off, too.
shoots threw
Yeah.
me for a loop. I was like, wait, I don't even have to shoot.
That
I'm
almost
like,
was a
I just-
turn off.
Because
Yeah,
I was just saying,
almost,
Binding of
almost,
Isaac
yeah.
is kind of like this, where you like get random shit every now and
Yeah.
then, like to power up your dude, and like you
Mhm.
fight a boss, and then you get some random shit, and you just keep going on.
There's no like real boss per se.
Bosses.
There's
just bigger, more powerful enemies.
And they just drop all the
Yeah.
same
Come with the
shit
mobs.
too. That's the other
They
thing.
come with
Yeah.
mobs, yeah.
The mobs
Exactly,
get
and-
progressively stronger as it goes on.
Right.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So you have to collect the experience and then pick from 3 or 4 if you have luck high enough. And you pick, either like the cross or the garlic and
That bombing dove thing is amazing.
Dude, have you done-
You power that thing
I
up.
can't
Oh
stand
my
that
god!
thing.
Oh,
Have
when you
you-
power it up, bro.
Even
Oh,
powered
my
up, I
God.
can't stand
Have
it.
you
Oh.
powered up the dove and the black dove to get the
I've
ultimate
seen
dove.
Black
together.
No.
The two
I've-
together. is-
Ultimate dove
That's
shoots
that's a good
rainbows.
time.
What is it?
That's a good time.
This is
Rainbows.
Voltron doves.
What?
What is
It
this?
shoots rainbows?
Yeah.
Nice.
It's
a
a
good
white
time.
dove and a
It's a
black
good
dove.
time.
So it's
It's a
the
good time.
ebony dove and the ivory dove.
Does it
And you-
does that song Ebony and
Well,
Ivory
when you
together
level up that one, it shoots freaking rainbow beams,
Said rainbow.
and
Yeah,
they're like
exactly.
huge wide beams, and it just like I think I was on the 3rd level, and I activated it, and my whole screen was nothing but giant robots, and I was taking them down. I was like, holy shit. And I didn't have garlic on, and I was not dying because they couldn't get close enough to me because of this freaking
Rainbow shit.
ultimate rainbow dove.
Yeah. Fucking great.
It's insane. It's
Again,
freaking insane.
Have
The
you
biggest thing, my fault.
No, you're fine.
The biggest thing about this game that a lot of people may not understand, or maybe especially in this era, this game, and I mentioned this backstage, it really got back to what gaming is supposed to be.
Yeah, yeah.
It's a game. It's a
Fun.
gaming ass game.
Yeah.
I mean,
Fun.
there's nothing wrong with that. And for
Yeah.
people to try to demonize it and make it seem like, oh, because it's not God of War level, because it's not of this ilk, it's bringing
silly.
people down, or oh, these are the games that are getting all this attention, so this is what we're going to get. Oh, you're setting a bad example for people. I don't get that. I just don't get that conversation. There's tons of games being made. This is another one that they did. I mean, obviously they did well with.
We always
And
need
they
those
redone
games. We always talk about it too, Steel. We always need those games. Not everything has to be the biggest spectacle of all time to be good, or to be like, oh my god, I've got to play this. Gaming is pure. It's at its core is just about the pure fun of it all. And there's got to be games like this that come out. We talk about this,
Engagement
Steel.
getting sucked in.
There-
Right?
Yes,
Right,
it's just, hey, I'm having one freaking hell of a time playing this game, and that's it. That's all it is. Just baseline level. Like this is the dope hit I needed, and that's all it is. Because that's all gaming started out as, and that's all it should be as a kid. It's these types of games that remind me of being a kid again, and it's just like, God, we need these every once in a while to remind people like what it's truly about. But you see, like Steel was bringing up, like we've all seen in the community, nowadays that's not for a lot of people. A lot of people didn't ever have that in their life, or if they did, they forgot about it. And now they can't even let themselves, they can't even let the superiorness down, or they can't even let the gatekeeper go away for a minute and say, you know what, this is a great hell of a game, even if it is simplistic, or even if I just don't like it because of the graphics, but it's still fun to play, and I can sit down and have a good time with it. That's what I hate about parts of this community that do that shit. Because man, a game like this comes along, people are praising it, and it's not fake. Again, I was talking about this game before it ever showed up on console. I didn't even know it was coming to console because I was watching people play it on PC, and I was like, these people are having a great freaking time with the game. I want to play this freaking game. Like everybody said the same thing. It's addicting. It's fun. Pure fun.
Oh yeah,
That's all I want.
I played it last night, and I wasn't going into it being like, "Oh, this is gonna be an amazing game." I was like, "Let me try it out. It's a brand new game.
Yeah,
we'll see it." And like I said, I was fucking almost little over 5 hours. I was sucked into this freaking game. I was like, "Holy freaking crap!"
It's way deeper than you would ever think.
Yeah, because I upgraded the Bible.
Yeah, man.
Because when you upgrade the Bible,
oh, it turns into a devil. It turns into a devil sitting. Oh my god,
dude,
killing
that
machine.
thing that is and it goes nonstop.
It's
it
amazing.
continually a whirlwind of death.
Oh,
I'm
it's
like,
amazing.
I am a cyclone of death. Hear me.
It's great.
The fucking soundtrack is incredible.
Yeah.
Oh
Do
my
you like upgrade it
God,
to like
dude.
King James Bible, or is it just
No.
It's the King
It's
Bible.
it's the Old Testament. No,
Old
it's Old
Testament,
Testament. It's
yeah.
all Old Testament.
No, it says the name of it's
Oh
called
no,
King.
I call it the
You're
Old Testament.
muted, Pom.
As destructive as it is, it's
I
Old
am,
Testament.
I am muted.
Oh,
No,
that's-
I was going to say the old school, the fact that it is the 8-bit style, but the fact that they took the Castlevania aesthetic completely,
Bro,
just
they
ripped
went
it off. That's
Yep.
perfect. It's
Mhm.
perfect though, along
Yeah.
with the soundtrack that Mav was just talking about. It is
Yeah.
absolutely the perfect
It's
setting
a
for this game.
kick-ass
I
soundtrack.
love it.
And the other thing is even the name harkens back to classic names of like the kind of games we got back in the day. Vampire Survivors, right?
Yes.
It's like if I was telling
generic.
As hell.
fucking amazing. If you
As
had
hell.
if you had this at the arcades when I was a kid,
Yes.
it would have taken
Yes.
all my fucking quarters.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
Oh,
There would have
yeah.
been a line
Yeah.
out the fucking door because it
Yeah.
combines the bullet hell games. It combines
Shoot
like
'em ups.
the
Yep,
old,
shoot
the
'em
How long
old
can you
shoot 'em
survive?
up.
Another one
right?
of these kind of games that's getting a lot of attention is called Brotato.
Okay.
It's
Brotato?
just came out like
Is it a
last
bunch of
month.
Series S's on the screen or what?
Like this little white egg potato looking dude. I don't know.
Probably,
Yeah.
probably.
How long
I
before we
can-
get a multiplayer version of this though?
Oh my
we
god,
need it. We
Paul.
need it
Ooh.
immediately.
my
God.
That's the
Co-op
only thing
of
that I was
this?
thinking
Play
about the whole
co-op?
time.
Dude,
Up to
co-op
4
would
people.
be
style?
nuts.
Yes, up to 4 people at Gauntlet.
You know
Oh
how
my
much heck,
God.
bro. That's all that it's missing
Holy
at this
shit.
point. That's
Right.
the only mechanic that it would be really missing for it to really take that. But it's
It'll only have 3-player co-op.
oh god, like guys. Fortunately or unfortunately, it's games like this that are going to expand the ecosystem. They're going to get people interested and say, "Oh man, this game's on Game Pass. Well, let me try it." Like me and
Mhm.
Psycho did, and
Yeah.
although we are part of it, even for the normal consumer, they'll see the hype going around, and they'll see people talking about, "Oh man, hey Billy, this game's mad addictive. You try it out. It's on Game Pass. You just got that Xbox Series S from Black Friday, right?" It's like, "Yeah, man, I'm not really I don't really like those 8-bit games." Tries it out. Next thing you know, he's playing Plague's Tale. Next thing you know, he's playing some other arc. Oh man, Forza! I haven't played a racing game and I don't know how long. Now he's a whole different fan of the ecosystem, man. And I think that's again, that should be the bigger picture that we should be focusing on rather than people just chasing clout. And
Yeah.
again, shit's funny. It is what it is, but
Yeah.
But it's a giant W, and it's a great win for Xbox to have it right now. It's
yeah,
awesome.
I think so.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
only
It's-
five. It's only
That's
$5
what gaming's
too.
It's only
about. Is
$5.
like that
Yeah.
that gaming loop. Like
Right.
that was the biggest thing that when you heard the developers talk about, like with Destiny and a lot of other like looter shooters and things like that. It's like that 5 to 6 second loop that keeps people wanting to come back or keep on going in the game.
Yep.
And that's what this game, it sounds like it has. And I'm
Yes.
been hesitant to try. I've also been hesitant to try what do you call it? Marvel Snap. But it's like
Yeah, I
this
can
one
only
I'll
deal with one crack
probably
at a
wind
time.
up giving I'll wind up giving a
Yeah.
try. Marvel Snap, I'm still gonna hold off for a bit. Cause like I said, I know that these types of games I'll wind up getting hooked on because I forget what the other one's called that I have on my Steam Deck now. It was the one where the dev that made it passed away, but they had it free on Steam, and it's like a little ball shooter type of game. It's not the ball shooter one that you find on the phones, but it's basically kind of like a bombardment type of thing. And then I wind up playing like hours of that, and it's like, oh, I got a score of 300,000. Oh, my next one 400,000. It's like I'm trying to crack the million, scoreboard thing on it, but this one sounds like you want to try out all of the different, power ups and things like that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah, you feel more powerful each time because you can buy power ups too. You can buy up your health. You can buy up your armor. Again, anybody just starting this game, do not dismiss luck. Everybody dismisses luck in games, but if you power up your luck in this game, it does help a lot. That's what I found out as well. But yeah, no, it's got a great loop. It's got a perfect loop actually. You feel more powerful each and every time. Yes, you will have those runs just like in any roguelite where you just don't get the right stuff and you're like,
It's exactly
"God
like
dang,
that,
I know this run isn't going anywhere."
Yeah.
But then you have that next run where all of a sudden you're on a roll and you're like, "Oh my god,
Yeah, I
I'm
feel
a whole different level right
unstoppable.
now."
Nobody
Yes.
can
For lack of a better way to put
Yeah.
it, it's literally a simplistic Hades.
Yeah.
Yes, correct.
Literally, it's
I love
literally
Hades.
a simplistic, a
Yes.
even more addictive. I'm telling,
Yes.
like,
Yes.
Leslie, you have a Steam Deck. I'm telling you, you're gonna put this on there. You're gonna be like, "Yo, I have to take this thing with me everywhere." It's just, bro. It's like I didn't think like games like this. I don't like trying out a bunch of different characters because typically, once you get a character, you want to build it up, you want to level everything. This is another one of those games where it's just like, try it. Hey, the skeleton dude, he throws bones and they bounce off of some stuff. Does it sound cool? Cool.
Yeah.
You might get some upgrades that complement it pretty well. Hey, we'll see what happens.
Mhm.
Oh, you want to throw axes up from the middle of the screen? Hey, you got a guy for that. You want to do whips? Hey, there's other variety, and the other characters get even crazier down the road for stuff that you haven't seen yet. And that's what I'm kind of addicted to now because it's like, yo, I have 40 characters. Where are they at? I have like 12.
I had no idea I had that many. That's amazing. What I love most is when you get amped like that later in the game and you're just taking out everything. Is when you get like level ups like every like 5 seconds because you're leveling up so dang fast because of the mobs and they all start dropping the green experience and you start picking all those up, right? And you're like
the red ones
and the red ones and you start getting up there. It's like holy shit! Like I just leveled up, then I level up again, then you level up again, then you get like good drops on the map too where you can pick those up and absolutely amazing.
The chests,
When you get to level
awesome.
70, all they do is drop red ones. And then you're just leveling up.
Right. I think I hit like 50s or something was my highest so far.
I got that's how I got the 100 so fast on the first map because I was trying to go through because each character you take them through all the boards.
Yeah, you gotta do up.
And
every character you gotta do it
that unlocks something. So I got 4. I beat 4 maps. You just have to complete it. So when you complete it, you got to go through the whole 15 minutes or the whole 30 minutes of because each board you'll tell you it's for this long, and there's some achievements. Certain character, certain board level 80 that unlocks something, and that unlocks a character. So you have to go in there and look and see and play. Because I was playing with a the hell was his, not the he wasn't the
what weapon does he use?
Anybody who's an achievement hunter, anybody who's got an achievement hunter out there that's got 140 achievements.
That's the problem. That's one of the reasons I'm hesitant on it.
If you need like achievements for some of the Microsoft rewards, this is the game to go play for because you'll be popping them left and right.
Man. You got to play this.
Don't play that midnight.
Here's red with.
I'm playing it right. It's free in browser.
It's in the browser for free. Right on.
That's hilarious.
So yeah, it's awesome. Do you guys think this game has a chance to get nominated for a Game of the Year award?
Well, it came out last year technically, so
it was in preview last year, I think.
I mean, I guess, but I think everyone's gonna overlook it.
Indie Game of the Year, yes.
Somewhere.
There's some kind of nomination at the Game of the
Year. Yeah, it might.
It'll be nominated.
Yes.
Yeah. At least a nod. That's what I posted yesterday. I was like, holy shit, this needs to be nominated for Game of the Year somewhere because it was I haven't had a game suck me in for 5 hours like that in a long time.
It's stupid because it's only like 15-minute runs. It's like 15 minutes and then you go start over again and next thing you know it's been 3 hours.
But it makes you like when you don't once you get like unlocked, when you upgrade that weapon, like when you upgrade the whip, it gives you health. You're like, oh shit, does that do that? What is this next one? When then you find out the combination.
Because I start getting the Evos. Yeah, I haven't gotten to that point yet. But
when you get the Evos, that is so. If you have a weapon and it's an Evo to like, what is it? The projectile, like the wand,
the staff, the fire wand or whatever.
So when you have the wand, when you evo that with the book, then it goes and it's nonstop, and so on and so forth. So each one has a certain combination of so it's a dual combo to get that upgrade, and then that unlocks the character to get into the main character.
These fucking ghosts are fast, bro.
It's amazing. Yeah, Cult of Tando, Cult of the Lamb probably will be most people's indie of the year, for sure. I think.
Yeah, because it's the most polished
this year. Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah. Cult of the Lamb took everybody by storm. I got to go back to it because I had the problem where I lost some hours. So, but they've patched all that now. But yeah, I definitely think Cult of the Lamb will be indie of the year for sure in most awards. But this game definitely could slide in to some of those indie games. At least for a nomination, it should.
Yeah, I agree.
How about these guys? How about this dev studio, man? This dev studio's got to be rolling it in.
Yo, yeah, it couldn't have cost them. It couldn't have cost them really anything to make this game.
Right, exactly. That's why they're only charging $5. But then now they got the Game Pass money.
Game is fucking insane.
Yes.
I'm telling you, if they're not thinking, hey, maybe they could be one of those dev, teams that are like, we get in, get out. I don't know, man. I think there's a lot of juice left in this one where you need to at least make a second one with a co-op component or multiplayer or whatever. Because people are, I'm telling you, man, people are fiending for that gauntlet feel.
And go 16-bit.
You said go 16, double it up.
Wow.
That would be funny as hell if they did that.
Right? That would be like 8-bit.
Every game they do.
The third one would be
32.
32.
It's funny as hell.
We lost Jasper. You might as well just put him on mute, man.
No, I'm still here. I'm just fighting these green bitches now.
Yeah.
And a mantis.
Yeah, the praying mantises. Oh god.
Oh, when they circle you.
Yes.
Yeah, I just had the roses circle you, whatever.
Yeah, the flower. Yeah, the flowers. Yeah.
Yeah, make sure you get garlic early.
Needless to say, ladies and gentlemen, I'm telling you again, if you want to play God of War, hey, it's there. If you want to play Vampire Survivors, it's a Game Pass.
Yeah.
Or it's $5, which I don't think is bad.
It's free on browser.
Or free on browser, like Jasper. Getting it
I got to shout out Brother Blam too, PTK Blam, because he was one of the first ones to put up a post about Vampire Survivors where he said, God of War is for sure game of the, and then because we were talking about Vampire Survivors, and he put the Undertaker meme behind him.
It's addicting, man. I'm enjoying the hell out of it. What do you guys think? Like, what do y'all think is gonna get the nominations for the Game Awards?
For Game of the Year this year?
Yeah.
Talk about Keeley's?
I'm
talking about
I'm
Keeley's?
gonna have to look at the fucking list, honestly.
I mean, Elden Ring and God of War Ragnarok are the two givens, right?
Yeah.
But there's three. I think there's like 5 candidates. I think they're gonna announce them. Tomorrow or next week or something.
Coming up.
Yeah.
Next week.
As Ducks Falls.
No,
I don't think it's Ducks Falls.
Cult of the Lamb Sleeps in.
Yeah, there's going to be Pokemon. I think Pokemon Legends is going to be up there. Elden Ring,
Bayonetta,
Kirby, Bayonetta,
Xenoblade,
Horizon.
Yeah. You know, there's going to be at least one Nintendo game just so they don't look like they're biased or whatever.
Well, I mean, in Dying Light 2 actually has a lot of traction right now, and they also came out with the DLC. Was it today or yesterday?
Yesterday.
They recently came out with DLC, and there's been a huge spike on PC with Dying Light. So that's probably going to be in the conversation too.
What if Pentiment comes out and is like a huge indie darling next week?
Victor Click, you be quiet.
Alana gave a hint that she's absolutely loving Pentiment. So
I've heard a lot of positive things.
Talk about it.
Oh God!
So yeah,
but she's from PlayStation. She's not.
I know she can't do that. She can't do that. I know.
Elden Ring should win.
It should be Elden Ring, but it's gonna be Elden Ring, God of War, and then one of the Nintendo games, whether it's Splatoon, Xenoblade.
I think Bayonetta 3 maybe gets the take.
Bayonetta could. I'd be surprised if it beats out Xenoblade though, because
I don't know.
What
man.
about like Triangle Strategy or something like that?
No,
you have to have some indie artsy-fartsy game in there.
Yeah, Cult of the Lamb will be the indie.
Yeah.
It was the indie darling.
What about that? Was it Immortality that got like one of the highest reviews?
Yeah, that won't be game of the year quality. It'll be in the indies. It'll be all the indie game of the year awards are going to be interesting this year, especially not just the Keeleys, but everywhere.
Yeah, you don't think Stray gets it?
There's a lot. No, Stray does not get it.
Oh man. You don't think Lego Star Wars Skywalker Saga gets it?
No,
not
getting in there either.
You sure?
That's not an indie game though. That's.
I'm just talking about game of the year overall.
Game of the year overall. Yeah.
How about Tiny Tina?
No.
You know what? And slight side tangent. What happened to all the Borderlands fans with Tiny Tina?
Everybody played the hell out of it.
Just die?
Everybody played the hell out of it, but the DLC. Yeah. See, the Borderlands DLC. It's got to be on point because they set their bar so high back in the day. Now when DLC comes out, if it doesn't hit, people disappear, man. But the Tiny Tina DLC wasn't the best. I'll say that for damn sure. So
that's unfortunate, man.
We had a great time. We had a great time.
That story was awesome.
Yeah, we had a great time with that shit. Yeah. 50, 60 hours into it.
Hell yeah, fucking every hour was fucking enjoyable. That too. I love the dialogue. They had something there, man.
Yeah, they just didn't have the end game for you, Steele. That's the only thing.
Yeah, for me personally, and I think that's what probably ended up hurting the game in the long run. Again, I mean, I'm not gonna say I'm always a truth speaker, but it's like that is a problem for, especially when you're a multiplayer fan, you're a looter fan, because of that genre, especially with Destiny, man. shout out to Bungie, or not shout out to Bungie, depending on how you want to look at them, because they're so up and down still. With Destiny 2, they have the bar for what a looter is, and shout out to the Division. I mean, we've gone back to that game like 3 times and always have lit it on fire for I mean at least 100 more hours. Every time that we go jump back in, so it's like
season.
Or you could be like Fuzzy, who never left.
Well, I mean, that,
except for when they
there's a
banned
new
it,
season coming.
Oh, yeah,
There's a new season coming.
Man.
There's a new season coming, but there's also supposed to be for other mode that's supposed to be coming and releasing. So, but yeah, man, it's just there's a lot this year, man. But I definitely think Elden Ring should win it out overall, and then the indie is definitely. I would probably agree with your guys' choice on that.
Yeah,
for sure.
And the one thing yet for Vampire Survivor, you one achievement is having 5 upgraded weapons on your body. So that means you have to have each upgrade.
Oh no, game over.
Each weapon you have has to have the combo to it, the partner. So you have to upgrade them. And I got 4 out of the 5 yesterday, and I was trying to find that 5th. Just that I was holding off for that 5th or the last equipment, and I it always give it. It was giving me wings or luck, because I got a relic that I can actually skip. I can like get rid of it, so I can add on. If it pops up, I can add on the one I need. But I was like, it wouldn't give me it. It would only give me the clover or the wings. I'm like, I don't need those.
Did anybody watch the Diablo 4 video, the IGN behind the scenes?
I have not.
No, not the
Ferguson and I forget who the other guy was about the open world.
No, I watched the one.
I heard it.
I saw a little bit of it. But I did watch the one for Harry Potter.
Ooh, yeah, I watched the Harry Potter one too, but
Well,
the Diablo one.
I heard open world.
This is gonna be it. It's open
Yeah.
world.
Yeah.
They were explaining what that meant to them, because obviously it's not completely wide open. It's still got sections.
Yeah.
But it's not
Diablo.
it's not as linear
zones
as
or whatever. Yeah.
Yeah, and you can start anywhere you want to.
Okay.
Even you could start in the 3rd act if you want to, and then move to the first and move to the second. Yeah, that's what Ferguson was explaining.
Okay.
So that was pretty damn cool. But he said the main story will always be there as a guidepost, and there will be certain times where you kind of got to move forward, obviously. But the amount of side content that they were talking about,
that's not good.
Crazy.
That's not
this
good.
Is gonna be
So
crazy.
it's going to be a 200-hour time sink.
Well, more than that. What the hell are we gonna do with ourselves next year, guys? This is gonna be a problem. And I'm just going to want to play Vampire Survivors nonstop. So I don't know what the hell I'm going to do.
It's going to be about backlog management next year.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
next year.
I think the best thing is just to win the Powerball and just so you can just take off forever.
Yeah.
Hey, this is going to be move more into a stage to where, and again, fortunately with Game Pass, where you're going to have to be real decisive about the games that you sink your time into, man.
But they're all time sinks. They're all time sinks. Starfield's a time sink.
That's the problem.
got
Diablo's
to
a
make
time
an
sink.
even bigger choice.
Age of Empires, time sink.
Oh my God.
But if you're getting it in Game Pass, then you get that benefit, right? So it's more likely for you to touch all those games versus otherwise.
Hogwarts Legacy.
Yeah.
I know. I want to play that so bad.
Looking great.
I didn't have a chance to catch the showcase for that today. Did y'all see?
The only takeaway that you really need to know, Mav, is the game looks really good.
Yes.
To me, if you're a Harry Potter fan, I think this is literally the true simulation that we've been looking for. The character customization is on point. The fact that they've put the attention to detail. Hair is such a little thing, but it's also a big thing for a lot of people just to represent themselves, and they've nailed that.
Yeah.
They've done things in this game that I just wasn't expecting. Thinking that they were going to undermine it a little bit or just juice the name of Harry Potter, but no, they're trying to literally give you a full experience.
The detail steel inside the castle,
bro, it is insane.
It's insane.
I can imagine being lost.
They have in there.
I can imagine being lost.
Again, I'm not the biggest Harry Potter fan, but I watched them all obviously, and
it's going to be a good time. Even
it's
if you're
going to be
a
great freaking time. The character customization, like Steele said, how they talked about the spells. They didn't even talk about everything that you can do. They're keeping some things secret until
Bro, the little bit of combat looked way better. And they specifically said they didn't want to show too much or whatever. Right. But the parts that they shown with the versatility of especially being able to attack multiple enemies and the different spells that you had, kind of gave me some of that Force Unleashed fantasy that I had. Yeah. Being able to force grab people, but also again just doing it with spells, magic, and
comboing with the spells.
Yeah,
or still comboing. How easy they showed that you're gonna be able to set up your spell lists.
Yeah,
and they actually teach you how to combo with those spells, which I thought was freaking awesome.
It looked like a primer type of setup.
Yeah, you like
pretty
get
much,
them up in the air, but they had this whole like it was like almost like a Devil May Cry kind of combo, except you're using your wand where you're going through the different spells and it lights it lights them up, drops them down.
This game's gonna be special.
This game looks pretty damn cool. And they stayed within the castle, and then right at the end, they walked out. They did kind of the outskirts of the castle to certain areas that everybody will recognize. But then they finally had their character at the end walk out the bridge, out of the castle area into the open world, and said, yeah, we're not going to show you the world right now, but this is what you get to explore. And they kind of had him walk up to this cliff area overlooking the outskirts of everywhere you could go. And they're like, yep, you're going to be going exploring there too.
Wow.
Pretty damn big. Yeah.
It's vast, man. It was good. If anybody, it was kind of one of those things to where I don't think everybody's going to be able to sit through the whole thing. Maybe if you're super involved into it, they kind of dragged out a lot of it. But again, I mean, it's kind of expected. They want to give you as much, but as little as possible. And you can tell that there's some things that they're working on, little hitches here and there, maybe with some performative things. But overall, like I do think this is probably going to be one of the most well optimized games that get released. At least what I can tell. At least what I can tell this far. And I mean, again, like you mentioned, Jasper. I mean, yeah, it's WB, but they're also in a place to where it has to be either make it or break it. And I think they did find a special place with Gotham Knights to where, although WB may be going through some turmoil and some things may not look really bright at the end of the tunnel, they do have some things going right internally that could bid well for them, and have somebody could look over and be like, look, they're putting out good games. There's obviously talent over there. So I just hope this game ends up being everything it needs to be and not something that's good in the beginning from what you see, and then you get an hour in and you're like, okay, what am I doing now? So
yeah,
it looks to be good.
Did they mention if when the time exclusive content will be be released?
No.
Nope.
That's probably gonna be forever.
Because that's a big because it's not just like
is
cosmetic.
It not at launch?
It's actual.
Are you talking about the PlayStation thing?
Yeah,
the quest, but it's beside it's the quest. It's an actual
it's a store too, vendor, right?
A vendor for your home or your
but he's probably going to sell you like a glass fucking bottle you can go buy for like $2 extra at another store. So it's like
no, they said that it was I forget what the I was an article there. It was a vendor that was selling potions and magic spells and things. And I'm like, well, that's more than a fucking quest. That's fucking and those if it actually has spells and remedies, potions, and things that you can't get anywhere but this vendor.
I think you'll be able to get them. You're just gonna have to make them yourself and find them.
Yeah,
yourself.
make them or
wait. It's
I mean, again, the spells you can make are going to be like 10 times better than that stuff they sell there. So it's like, what's even the point?
And it's not as bad because again, it's a single player experience. If that's just one piece that you just don't get, I mean, sure, you could say, oh, I didn't get this piece, so I missed out on that experience. But at the same time, is that one little thing that's going to take you maybe 60 seconds worth your hundreds of hours of gameplay that you're probably going to get out of this game once you get into the nitty gritty of it? I don't know. I guess that's to be determined, you know. I'm excited for it. It's good time.
Is it 60 frames on console?
They didn't say. It looked like it was from but so did Gotham Knights. So I mean, and
this was they did this whole thing on they did this whole demo was on a PlayStation test kit.
Okay.
So
I need to
it
go
did
back
say
and
that.
watch it. So
Yeah.
It looks like it looks like it is 60. When it got into combat and everything else,
I
it
would
looked like
say
the
with
game was
his
60.
robe movements and stuff when he was walking steel, for sure it looked like
Yeah.
60. Like how the robe was flaring out while he was walking and that kind of stuff.
It looked
that
really
was not
extremely
30.
smooth.
but
that was not
but a
30.
lot of those test kits have like
Yes.
advanced performance
Yes.
modes on them.
Yeah,
right?
they have more
Yeah.
hardware, more powerful hardware in
Is
the
this
dev kits.
this game isn't coming out the last gen though, is it?
No,
It's only next gen.
I think
No, I
it's-
think they
think next
canceled
gen
the
only.
current gen.
so did
version.
Gotham Knights.
Did they cancel?
Yeah.
Did they cancel it? I don't know.
I don't remember it
This is
coming
a
out.
WB game,
I think
right?
it's
So that's why I'm
PS4,
asking.
PS5, and only Series X and S.
There are other games that are like that, Psycho. I don't know if this is one of those that was like that though. That sounds really weird if that's the case. Either way, it doesn't matter. Either way, I think it's going to be a good time. For those who are interested, I see the excitement starting for sure.
Right. Cool. Yeah, we'll see. I'm looking forward to trying it out. I'm not like I don't have like a super hype level for Hogwarts Legacy, but it's
Right.
it's a definitely game that like it's on my radar. I never was like huge into Harry Potter, you know. I like some of the movies. I don't even think I finished the whole series, but the concept of the game seems pretty cool. I just hope my fear is I'm gonna be walking around doing little quests and talking to people the whole damn time in the school.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And I don't like that in
they
games.
showed that. There's
Did
a lot of
they?
that.
Okay.
It's going to be a school environment, Mav. I would suggest that this isn't going to be. Yeah, you might want to wait a little bit.
I like the spells concept and the world around it and stuff, but like the games kind of kill that for me sometimes, and it's like so much like, hey, go talk to this person, go talk to this person, walk from classroom to classroom to classroom. Bring this.
Yeah, it's going to
bring
be
these ingredients over to this person and all this stuff, and it's like, okay, cool. I need something to grab my attention more, you know, just for a personal thing. It's nothing against those kind of games. It's just
no, I get it.
a
Yeah,
personal thing for me, right?
100% get it. I would definitely. I at least think from what I've seen, at least especially in the beginning, I can expect the first 10 hours of the game it's probably going to be pretty slow.
Right.
Now they might, depending on now again. They could have some good pacing. They might mix some things in there. It's not like the school is boring. Like there's a lot of action to be had within the actual school.
The
itself.
school is like it's a different environment too. There's probably a lot of exploring and finding secrets in that school too, because it's like that's what they did in Harry Potter, right? So,
exactly.
I would imagine that's going to be a part of it. So I definitely got my radar on it. It's not like all the way like with my most anticipated games, especially with so many freaking games coming out. Right. If this had launched like this month, it would have been an amazing time for it for me. You know what I mean? But like,
yeah, that's true.
No, you got Vampire Survivors. You don't need anything else.
You're right. I'm good. I'm good to go until December when my games come out. Need for Speed Unbound, Midnight Suns, another time sync game. Midnight Suns.
Another time sync. Yep.
I don't know if I'm going to get into that one.
No.
Which one?
No.
Midnight Suns.
Midnight Suns.
Oh, yeah.
There's too many games that
it's on the edge. We'll see. I might get it on PC.
After playing Marvel Snap, I just wanted like more Marvel card shit for some reason. So I'm like,
you think it'll be as addictive though?
No, but I think it'll be like you get that next level experience with cards because you can like you get to see more.
They come
stuff
to life,
and,
right?
Yeah.
More so. Actual characters to build up. You put the team together. Everybody's team's going to be a little.
You
bit
feel like
different.
you're doing more.
Right. True. Man. I don't know, man. I feel like I'm doing a lot in Marvel Snap too. I feel like sometimes it turns from chess to from checkers to chess really quick sometimes,
and vice versa when when the area turns into certain ones. I'm like, really, the exchange hands. I'm like, what the? I'm like, there's no controlling what you're going to get. I'm like, this is stupid. Like, my strategy's gone now.
Or where you have the 25% chance for to destroy your card, and he could put down 4 cards there, but you go put down one, it destroys everyone.
Yep, exactly. Or or a random card appears on each side for each player, and they get
like a fucking 20.
Yeah, they get like
1.
Yes, exactly. I'm like, fuck, really?
Yeah.
I love it. It's a good time. It's a good time. Again, man, game is great, bro. It's like it's better than it has been in a long time. And people keep trying to reminisce and say, "Oh man, remember when games are great?" And it's like you guys got to open your eyes a little bit, man.
So many.
And
a lot of good stuff.
But that's why I asked the question in the chat, what games did you guys find like graphically appealing to you guys, or like set that graphical bar? Because it's like a lot of the games that we're still looking at least to me, are still on older hardware. Again, proving we haven't got anything.
But this hardware, yet. I don't know if hardware really matters, because I mean they downgrade it for old hardware and they do the best they can with the current hardware they have. It's just like PCs now. Like if you have a 4090, it'll look better. But if you have
to be honest, I'm pretty damn satisfied graphically with where games are at. You know what I mean? Like they're I mean, obviously they can always do more overall, and stuff, overall, but like the games look 100%. Gorgeous, and they obviously have all these different kinds of games and stuff, and and things are gonna always push more with technology. But like I always I've learned a lot this generation when it comes to the games and stuff, and I think the games look better with a better performance as well. So like I think part of it is a balancing act, right? Because if you like push every bell and whistle graphically with fidelity, it comes with a cost. And at that point, is that cost going to actually affect the entire experience of the game? As sometimes it does, and I think overall the trade-off is up to the developer, and what their artistic vision is. But I play games to play them, not just to look at them. You know what I mean? Like,
yeah, exactly. So, I'm not playing games looking at trees. Like maybe I'll do that every once in a while.
I do love it, and I appreciate. I appreciate the art of it. And I appreciate how beautiful these games are. I do like to take screenshots. I like, oh, that's gorgeous. But you can do that a lot of times in these games, like that came out last generation. And they're like fucking gorgeous. Like, wow, holy shit! Like look how amazing that looks. Look how beautiful it is. But guess what? When those games are in motion and looking as crisp as they do when they're in still, then that's another level of immersion for me.
I mean, again, and that's why people bring up Red Dead 2, right? Because there was that level of immersion there for a lot of people, and you had the fidelity there, which is why people try to lead credence to the 30 FPS conversation.
But I mean, to your question that you had actually asked, Steele, about what's the best graphic game we've seen. When you said this generation, right? Forza Horizon 5, I think is probably number one still. It's an open world racing game, right? Racing games usually have better graphics, but that one took a leap beyond anything else I think we've seen.
Right.
But as far as overall, the game I would consider would probably be Red Dead 2. The amount of detail in that game for the world that it has with the characters and stuff is just absolutely fucking incredible. Like, I mean, just gotta look at the fucking horse's ass when you're riding the horse. I mean, it's like the detail is insane.
You got to think that was done on the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4.
Yeah.
Which wasn't a the same architecture as what we have now.
Yeah.
About times 86. So it's like, when is that actual change going to happen? And when it does happen, is it going to make enough of a difference for the masses to really change how people look at games?
I don't know. I think fidelity wise, we're already reached a point to where it's pretty.
That's what I think too. And that's why I keep hounding on the point of, hey, let's stop talking about fucking fidelity.
Ray tracing.
Let's talk about you feeling the game.
Yeah.
Because that's what it comes down to.
I just want to say I hate you all. I played like another game of Vampire Survivors.
Told you.
Starts with one.
That's all it takes. It sucks you in. You're like, all right, wait till you learn the combos of the weapons, and then you're gonna want to unlock other characters because of those, and it's a fucking whole thing, dude. Again, 5 hours later, I was playing it last night.
Yeah, enjoy your night playing Vampire Survivors, Jasper. You ain't playing much Marvel Snap.
He's streaming it tonight. I'm going live tonight on his podcast, Vampire Survivors.
Yeah, I mean, anything else you guys wanted to touch on before we get out of here?
Oh, I think we grabbed everything.
Yeah.
I think we knocked out of the park, guys. That was awesome.
I mean, I guess Call of Duty stuff comes out next week. A lot of big update for season 1.
Yeah. Hey, are you guys ready for that 115 gigs of pure Warzone 2.0?
I don't know if it's necessarily like,
no,
because I don't know if people are counting like some of the stuff that's already downloaded.
No,
it's be different for other platforms.
It said Warzone 2.0 is 115 gigs.
Yeah, but you already have like if you go to your Xbox thing, it's like you already have like 70 Warzone gigabytes
man,
downloaded.
I had all the Twitter professionals break it down for me. All the latest YouTubers broke it down.
Macroeconomics broke it down too.
Yes, the macroeconomics broke it down, and I sat down with some advisors, and they said that that's
macro
what was
storage.
Yeah,
exactly.
About.
Exactly. But no, yeah, it's exciting. I'm hyped for Warzone 2.0.
Yeah. Call of Duty's about to break Vanguard's records too, or about to beat Vanguard, not records, but they're already catching Vanguard in some areas. So
if anybody
like
finds
2 weeks,
yeah,
if anybody finds 2 terabyte storage expansion cards laying around their house, they forgot about, send it our way. We always in need of space around here. Holy shit, because I don't know what I'm gonna install to get that in our bedroom. I'm gonna have to fucking invest in another.
You need to get one of those like home network storages where you can just have like 8 terabytes in a thing and then it just spreads across your entire house.
That would be cool, but then I gotta buy it, and it's probably not too cheap. But I also gotta figure out. Then you gotta constantly move shit back and forth and everything.
Yeah, I would invest the 2 terabyte expansion card because I bought the
Those
one
fucking $400. I think
$400 cycle. I don't think that's real.
$349.99.
That's not necessarily reasonable.
Yeah,
you know.
Well, that is because it's a Seagate proprietary expansion card, and it's only the fucking When is that deal gonna end? Because we need somebody out here like Seagate, or not Seagate, but Western Digital or PNY or somebody making some different.
I'll take a TLC one at this point.
Oh god, I fucking hate Seagate.
TCL,
like I feel like
whatever.
their shit's like their drives fell a lot more. So like I never buy Seagate, and I'm just like, can we like get someone else, please?
Yeah, Western Digital is my
Yeah.
favorite of the two.
Yeah.
Between the two, but I was under the impression when they announced that 2 terabyte, because it was like a 1-year anniversary, that's when the patent was supposed to, not really the patent, but other
They had
brands
licensed
were
out
to,
the exclusive use of it for like a year. I thought.
Yeah.
Well,
I'm wondering if the R&D couldn't start until that date. Like I was under the impression they could already have the R&D. It's just that they couldn't release products until that 1 year.
Or do companies even want to take the time to like manufacture their own like stupid thing and have to do all the costs to like get that up and working? So
I think it's coming. I think it just the timing of it was kind of worked against Microsoft. But I think it's coming. I mean, they'll have nothing but time, especially once they get games rolling in. It's going to come to a point where it's like, all right, Xbox, you keep dropping all these games in Game Pass, but I don't have enough storage, and your storage is a certain price. Hey, it's been a few years now. What are we doing? So
I think they I think with 2020 and 2021, because of the lack of consoles and because of chip shortages, I believe that because not too many people are going out and buying the consoles. So the big uptick was the latter half of 2021 and in 2022. So I think that they said, okay, we'll do maybe another 6 months and then allow them to try to recoup whatever, being the proprietary management software or the storage component for Xbox, and but not those prices. But again, those are going to drop once others come out, and they. I mean, because
I just have an external SSD that you can transfer games back and forth in like 5 minutes. Yeah. It's like whatever.
No, if they were,
can you link me to a good affordable one, Jasper?
See, if Microsoft
I don't even
allowed us to like swap the internal SSD to a bigger storage component and be able to download the software so it's compatible, I mean, that would be huge. But I don't see them allowing that to happen.
They'll release a 2 terabyte console for the Series X soon. Well, I won't say soon, but that would probably be the next thing.
That would probably be dope. Yeah, that would be dope. Diskless 2 terabyte.
Yeah,
Series X
will be a 1 terabyte.
$500 diskless with 2 terabytes.
That would be dope. I think that would
Yeah.
be a good play, and then that's when you drop the price on the actual 2 terabyte itself to down like $300, $299 maybe,
Yeah.
which would bring the 1 terabyte down to like $149.
I don't think they'll do discless because how would you play a disc game?
Hey, well,
you
won't be buying disc games.
You know it going into it, like
like if they don't ever produce any more disc consoles, they're just going to keep making discs that no one can play.
They would still make this one also.
I mean, they make a Series S. Right. It would just be an alternate version. You know what I'm saying? It'd be another external version. I can see Microsoft doing that because they did it with the 360. The 360 had like 6 different versions.
Yeah. Remember the last one?
Towards the end of the Xbox One, they had the discless one. I mean, it's one of those that they'll continue to produce the ones with disc, but I could see a refresh coming as a discless and possibly charge the same price, do 2 terabyte, no disc, and maybe a smaller form factor, possibly. But I don't know with that split motherboard if that's even a possibility.
No, but I don't see that being a thing. Because if they take off the disk drive, you're only making it. They'll make it. It will be more rectangular, or thinner, narrower. I mean, that's not really. I mean, if you lay it down, it would be thinner.
Thick.
The problem is you can't really take off the width because you need your fan there, and like they probably spec'd out that fan for the exact cooling, so it has to be that wide. The only thing you take off is height.
Xbox, the Series X thin.
Yeah, I don't think they'll even do that because
that's funny
of the board. I don't know. Well,
nah,
they don't. I don't think they're gonna mess around with it.
I mean, it's not like it's that big anyway. It's not a fucking spaceship like PlayStation 5. So,
yeah, you mean the room humidifier?
Yeah,
the slim. I'm waiting for the slim.
Man, I hope they do a slim, but at this point, then that means it's got to have different external panels after they went through all the trouble of making the replaceable panels. So, I don't know.
Mm-hmm. Oh,
so you can clean out the dust easier or whatever, right?
Yeah,
they'll vacuum it.
They'll make a slim. What they'll do is they'll drop the discless and they'll keep the disc slim, and they'll do a regular disc, or unless the slim is discless, and then
the slim is rumored to be discless because of the removable disk drive patent or something.
Yeah, so
that's where they're going.
That's probably what'll happen. They'll drop the $399 price point, and the slim will be $499.
Who knows? It'll be interesting.
Because they'll have like 1.34.
I don't know if Xbox really needs
teraflops.
Xbox doesn't really need to do a slim or a pro. I think if they do anything, it'll probably just be like you can get a black Series S or a white Series X. That's what they'll do, or something like that.
Or put them in design labs. Or
more teraflops.
I don't know. We'll have that conversation again in a year or two if there's a lot more 30 frames games coming out.
That's true.
if that becomes a norm.
Well, no, the thing is that if Xbox puts out high quality games, 4K 60 with ray tracing, let's just say, and no one else is, like third party, then that is on the third party optimization, and they're not applying themselves to utilize the hardware. If Xbox can do it, and then that just shows you that the hardware is compatible of doing this performance, and then that means is that you'll see, are people going to wait to buy the game, wait for a patch for them to finally bring out a patch? Who knows?
Yeah, we'll see. All right, well, let's get everybody out of here. I want to give a shout out to Steel, and also Steel shared an awesome Halo Infinite Forge map to me and the DMs. Lockout, somebody recreated Lockout, 1-to-1 recreation, which I've already seen an awesome Haven recreation. I've already seen a great Blood Gulch recreation.
Someone made a defamation from Halo 1.
It's fucking people are already on top of their game getting these maps cranked out, man, and they're good. They're good. So we'll be doing some more community game nights with Halo Infinite in the future. So stay tuned to some Halo streams where we're doing that stuff. But Steel, I appreciate you joining in with the fam today. It's always great to have you here, bro. And tell everybody where they can see you tomorrow morning as the better half of the Living Split Screen.
Well, tomorrow morning, I'll be watching Blue's Clues, so you may not catch me live. But no, honestly, thanks, man, for just inviting me back on. Glad I had some time to jump on here tonight. We had some beautiful conversations, and that's what it's about. I love doing it, jumping in here, especially since we don't get a whole lot of time throughout the week to get our gaming in or whatever the case, amongst ourselves. Getting together with you guys, chopping it up about an industry that I care so much about because a lot of people will tell you, and you brought up this point the other day, Mav, where, well, why do you care about things that it's not just your interests?
Yeah.
And honestly, guys, is because there is a bigger picture out there, and not everybody has to look at things the same, and that's respectable. But I do like to take that RTS approach, which we do every Saturday, 9 a.m. Central, 10 a.m. Eastern, and 3 p.m. UK time with Living Split Screen. Again, non-console centric platform covering everything that's going on in gaming, with a lot of personal flair to it. Again, we're probably going to cut down the show a little bit this weekend because, we're trying to save some things, but that's all right. And I'll make another announcement tomorrow because I got some special things happening. I may actually, never mind, because I think I worked that out, actually. I think we're good to go. So we're good to go on that. Living Split Screen 80 and 81 is on the horizon, on the road to 1K. Guys, do you want me to play Callisto Protocol or not? Get us the 1K. I will play it live day one. So thanks again, Fun Speculation of Family, for having me, and much love to you guys.
Yeah, man. Again, huge part of the family with us. Still appreciate all the time you spend on any of our shows and just hanging out and playing games with us, dude. Psycho, thanks for making it, bro. I know you were working at Blue's Clues. I know you were working late tonight, so thanks for hopping on. Where can everybody find you?
Hey, besides at Steve's house doing some fucking blow
on the thinking chair.
Find me.
Wow!
What
At
the?
Steve's house doing blow.
So you can find me on social media. Everybody, find me on Psychonauts 8. You can find me everywhere. Xbox and Twitter and whatnot. You can find me here on the Fun Speculation channel every Monday, 10 o'clock for FSP, and then here Fridays with the gang, talking about games and bullshit that happens on the internet, and bring it to you live, but not raw on uncut, because that's for steel.
Perfect.
Saturday.
Thanks, man.
We cook it a little bit.
You cook it a little bit.
Cook it a little bit. Trim it up. Trim off some of the fat and some of the gnarly bits.
Bet.
Yes. Get the spoon ready.
That's what I like to hear.
Hey, Fuzz. When I saw a fuzzy spread on his
whoa.
Yeah, sorry.
Wow, need some Manscaped over there.
I saw when I saw Fuzzy spread on his shooting on his targets.
Shoes.
On his shoes. Shooting targets, whatever you call those things. I knew I didn't want to mess with Fuzz because, man, he's got 10 shots in the chest on those targets there from his shooting gallery today, bro.
But they weren't grouped together, so just kidding.
They were grouped. It was just a little to the down and to the left.
It was like a pearl necklace.
No, but man, oh man, it was so awesome to be on here with you guys and having Steel up here tonight, man. This was awesome, and I even got to make some Photoshop stuff in the background too, and I'll probably wind up getting hooked on Vampire Survivors here soon as well. But man, awesome being here with you guys. Awesome having everybody interact with us in the chat, and for anybody that wants to hear my endless ramblings on anything gaming or see random target shooting pictures, just follow me on Twitter, fuzzy_Belvedere. Also catch me on FSP 10 p.m. Eastern Standard Time right here on Fun Speculation on Mondays, and then right back here on Xbox Ultimate at I guess either 9 p.m. or 10 p.m. next Friday night. We'll definitely.
I'm playing it by ear. It makes it I don't know. This time slot might make it easier for everybody to be here, so we'll talk about it and figure it out. Vic the Click hit us with a $5 super chat. Appreciate you, Vic. Said amazing episode, guys. Beer emoji, beer emoji, beer emoji, beer emoji. I'll take a shot for everyone on that panel. Hey, bro. Appreciate you, Vic. Vic's dancing in the club right now, getting his groove on.
Oh, is he dancing? I thought he was at the bowling alley.
He's at a club, I think. I don't know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah,
I thought he was bowling.
Maybe it's a bowling club. Jasper the realist, the new Vampire Survivors fan. Where can everybody find you?
You can find me on Marvel Snap. Just if you're in pool 2, that's where I'm at. No, Lord Jasper on Twitter, Lord Master Jasper on YouTube. Been doing some more content. This week I kind of didn't do anything. I've been busy, but trying to get back into that, trying to do more regular content on my YouTube channel. And it's always FSP 10 o'clock Monday night Eastern right here on Fun Speculation. And then back here Friday night Xbox Ultimate, whatever time Mav's going to do now. So that's where I'm at.
You should stream your Excel spreadsheet just as for COD.
It's not that. I mean, it's a spreadsheet.
Then we have the one and only other member of Living Split Screen, Pong Soul, Encyclopedia Gaming, dating back to the first game ever created. Bitter man today. It's a bitter man, but
I am.
He'll get over it tomorrow.
You think so? You think so? Look, listen. The other part of my rant that I didn't get to, by the way, Todd. Do you think on 11/11/22 you guys might have put out a new question and answer video today, or maybe something for all the fans that were crying out here today, like myself, that were heartbroken that they weren't playing? You probably could have done that, Todd, but you didn't do that, did you? You didn't do that for your fans. I wish you would have. But anyways, no, you guys can find me, Pong Soul, obviously on Xbox and Twitter. This was a great show. Great to have Steel here, and I get to see him very shortly. In fact, in about 9-10 hours here, I get to see Steel again, and we're going to have a great show tomorrow morning on Living Split Screen, so you know the drill. You got to set the alarms now. You got to wake up. You got to tell a friend, bring a friend. You got to come on over, because we're going to have a great show. And like Steel said, we're on Mission 1K, so you got to be there. It's going to be about 3 hours tomorrow, because I got a triple header tomorrow. So not only are you going to start your day on Living Split Screen, but then in the afternoon, you're going to go over to Game On Daily for Game On Live, Go Live, however you want to say it. Of course, with the saucy one, maybe, if he got back from Bangkok. I have no idea if he's going to survive. And then, of course, the even-keeled one, Asa, is going to be there as well. So I'm going to be there. I think it starts at 3 p.m. Eastern or 2 p.m. Eastern, but I'll post that out. Otherwise, then tomorrow night is the Shop Podcast with PTK Blam and the guy right here, Fuzzy Belvedere. And that starts at 8 p.m. Eastern, 9 o'clock Central Time now. 8 p.m. Eastern, 7 p.m. Central Time, right? Is that where I'm Fuzzy? Yeah. God, I get these hours screwed up when PTK does this. So be there tomorrow night, the Shop Podcast. I don't think we have a guest announced yet, but it's going to be a great show. And then otherwise, next week, Tuesday's Xbox Factor, Double Barrel Gaming, Mr. Boomstick, gotta be there every Tuesday, 12 p.m. Eastern, 8 o'clock, I got on my mind, 11 o'clock Central Time. Be there Tuesday afternoons for All Good Things Green on Xbox Factor Podcast. And of course, Thursday nights, it's right back here again, PM in the PM, Pong and Mav in the PM. We had a great show last night. If you didn't go check it out, check it out. We did a lot of talking last night. We had a lot of good times. Big topics last night, even though there wasn't some. Mav and I didn't think we were going to go for 2, and we wound up going for 3 hours because we just wound up BSing. So go check that out. But PM in the PM, 7 p.m. Eastern, 6 o'clock Central, every Thursday night. Episode 50 last night already, halfway to a century. So otherwise, it is the golden age of gaming, people. Get out there, play some Vampire Survivors, okay? Because that's what you need to do. It's crack. Got to go get it. Or some Marvel Snap, or do both, like Jasper is right now. Otherwise, play what you love what you play, and I'm going to talk to you all real soon, tomorrow morning. Be there.
Absolutely. And you can, I'm thinking about streaming tonight. I don't know. It's already late, so we'll see. I may or may not stream some Vampire Survivors. But if I do, you'll see the notification go off if YouTube's working. I appreciate everybody in the chat. Next week when we're back, we will have a sponsor. Next Friday night, we have a sponsor for the show now, so there'll be some interesting segment there, and we're looking to have some fun with it. But I appreciate everybody for all the support and everything you've done here on the channel. Like these guys said, Mondays FSP 10 p.m. Eastern time, Thursdays PM in the PM 7 p.m. Eastern time, and then I'll stay in touch. Let you guys know on Xbox Ultimate next Friday whether we're gonna go back to the regular 9 p.m. Eastern slot or move it to 10. Just talk to everybody and just figure out how that works out. But appreciate you all and have a good one. You fucking rock. Peace.
Peace.
Bye.
Bye, everybody.